troubles, just call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by USPS Ground Advantage. Simple, affordable, reliable.
Every business faces challenges, but shipping shouldn't be one of them. Turn shipping to your advantage with USPS Ground Advantage from the United States Postal Service. Learn how at USPS.com/advantage. USPS Ground Advantage. Simple, affordable, reliable.
Men, if you're suffering from erectile dysfunction or PE, Premier Men's Medical Center will get your sex life back in just one visit. Their painless, breakthrough medical treatments eliminate ED and PE. Here's a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Have Viagra or Cialis let you down? Premier Men's Medical Center offers the most effective treatments that eliminate ED and PE, with men lasting longer than ever. 98% of patients see instant results on their first visit.
Premier Men's Medical Center's breakthrough treatments will restore your sex life regardless of age or medical history. Your consultation and first treatment are free. Plus, you'll see instant results in the office. Plus, qualified patients will have their testosterone checked free. Call 407-337-5569. 407-337-5569. To regain your sex life in just one visit, call now. 407-337-5569.
You've heard of a pro tip. Here's a mo tip. After an accident, don't speak to the insurance company. They aren't your friend, and any statement you give them could be used against you. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. Mo DeWitt, Orlando attorney.
I'm Chris Walls, and I'm a truck driver from Missouri. For 13 hours a night, I sit in my truck and I drive. Out of boredom, I'll stop and eat. If I'm not doing fast food, I guarantee there's a bag of chips open on my dashboard. Along with that, I'm good for about 4 liters of soda a night. That was all until Andro 400. I started out 4 months ago weighing 341 pounds, and since taking Andro 400, I have dropped 45 pounds. I'm sleeping better. There's no cravings. My knee pain went away. I've had some lower back issues, and I've noticed that went away, and I can only contribute that to Andro 400. One thing that Andro 400 said on the radio ad says it attacks belly fat. Well, let me tell you, it did. I've lost 6 inches. This product really does work.
So guys, if you'd like to experience similar results, then get Andro 400, the safe, natural, and inexpensive way to boost your testosterone. Go to andro400.com or call 888-400-0435. 888-400-0435.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 40-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term life insurance may only cost you about $100 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-239-1749. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Providers help thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-239-1749. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-239-1749. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds, too. For affordable term life insurance, call 800-239-1749. 800-239-1749 or biglou.com.
Mom, meet Sarah.
From first-time Nana moments.
Welcome to Flight 101.
To annual girls trip moments. Your can't-miss moments are worth protecting against RSV. If you're 75 or older or 60 plus with a chronic condition like asthma, COPD, heart disease, or severe diabetes, you're at higher risk of landing in the hospital from RSV. And there are no prescription RSV treatments. Check eligibility and schedule your RSV vaccine at vaxassist.com.
So where should we go next?
Sponsored by Pfizer.
Broadcasting live from the injury law firm of Kaufman and Lind Studios. Why Kaufman and Lind? Because you matter. Contact them at whenyouneedus.com or dial pound 546 on your cell phone. This is WTKS FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. Listen on your free iHeartRadio app for all your music, radio, and podcasts. Someone's going to get offended. It's just the way the world works. So to hopefully save everyone a little time and or energy, here's this. The opinions that you hear are those of the host and callers, and not those of iHeartMedia, its management, or advertisers. The News Junkie is on. The 3 best friends you never knew you had, running through the most viral stories of the day. The News Junkie Sean Wasson with Sabrina and Sealand.
Monday, September 23rd, 2024. Lots to get to today. From the Menendez brothers are mad to why a new hurricane is not my fault. And the second Trump attacker's note is revealed. Plus your calls, dispatches, emails, texts, and more. Hey there, Sabrina.
Heidi ho.
Hello, C-Lane.
What's up?
And hello to you. You can join us on the show today. All you have to do is send us a dispatch. Go to thenewsjunkie.com. Hit record on your first dispatch today. You can also watch the show on YouTube and twitch.tv/thenewsjunkie. Your message is rolling right into the studio in real time. And how's everybody doing on a Monday?
Not bad.
I'm all right. I'm
I got
doing
one.
You got a thing.
All right, that was a vague book. We could dive deeper into that. I don't know if we're allowed to or not.
What do you mean? What I sent you guys?
Well, first of all, I got one okay, and then one not sure how we're doing today. Is the not sure how we're doing today related to the text message you sent C-Lane and I before the show?
1,000%. And you are more than welcome to read it verbatim. I don't remember if I added any curse words, but obviously you're a professional.
I'm just saying, when you send a text message like that, I know you see C-Lane's response, and I know
actually I've not seen C-Lane's response.
You know, both of us are eager to know what the hell it is you're talking about.
Are you connected yet to show people via our group chat the images, or do I have to email it to you?
You'd have to email it. I'm sorry. It's
no worries.
still not
I'm
working
gonna do
right.
that, but go ahead and read.
So we get a text this morning, C-Lane and I do, from Sabrina, and it says, "Hey, just a heads up. I may get a phone call during the show that I'll have to pick up. I got a company coming to remove the most horrific, foul, nightmarish monster I've ever seen from my garage, and he may call when he's there." And then C-Lane very quickly responded with, "What kind of monster?" ? And
I did not respond to that. Yeah.
Nothing to that. We're both sitting here going, okay, yes, now tell us a little bit more.
That was my bad. I
almost sent the side eyes, that my wife loves. Wife loves to send the side eyes if I don't respond to a question.
That stings. That hurts a little bit. So tell us what's in the garage.
So Saturday-ish, I had walked out to my backyard area, and I got a scent in which, unfortunately, I was familiar with. And it was the smell of a dead animal.
Okay, we got to preface this by saying Sabrina's house is kind of unique in its layout. Your garage is like a little patio type area with a garage in the backyard.
It's like a carport. It's a little, some would consider a mother-in-law suite. Then the garage is next to it.
Yeah, so it's like a little bungalow style thing in the backyard where there's a garage. And you smelled something coming from there, you're saying?
Yes, and it was, I am just sending you the thing right now. So I smelt it and...
You dealt it?
I did not deal it. However, it right before I went to Italy, there was a very similar smell, and hero that is Radio Michael 7 was able to find it because he stayed over my house, and he found a rat. And the rat was dead, and he removed it. So the same thing happened. I'm like, dude, I'm smelling something again, but it was ripe. Like, it was very ripe.
This was stronger than the rat smell then.
It was. And I, Saturday, could not bring myself mentally to deal with it, right? I reached out to my property manager. I was like, hey, this is the heads up, just in case pest control company can come by because, Florida or construction or whatever. Then I decided this morning, I'm like, I can't deal with this anymore. So I suited up, and I don't know if you received the email just yet, but I suited up with all of the things necessary for me to just go and handle this myself. There we go. There she is.
This is the attack gear.
Those are industrial gloves. That is a, same day or overnight delivery of a grabber there, and the mask, everything that is needed.
Everybody knows what a grabber is, right? You hold the little hand, you squeeze the trigger, and the grabber grabs.
Yeah, someone called it a gopher or something yesterday, I guess.
Okay.
But whatever. I was ready to just get what Michael had found a week before, and that was a dead rat. And then I opened up the garage. And I found the last...
Second photo?
I found that, and it's the most horrific thing I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, what am I looking at?
Exactly.
What?
What is
exactly?
What? Did something explode here?
Look at, if that is a rat, that is the biggest rat that Florida's ever seen.
That ain't no rat.
Oh, gosh.
Look at that tail.
Look at the tail.
And
that's
that
a
is
possum, I think.
And I opened the garage and I shut it immediately, and I said, "This is beyond my range."
Is that a possum that
my
got
head.
attacked by another possum? It doesn't look complete.
I'm completely disturbed that I smelled Saturday. Like Friday, I didn't smell anything. The week prior, I didn't smell anything. And that doesn't look like 2 to 3 days of decomposition by any means. But I was like, I either have a professional come out today, or I guess I'll have to burn down the structure because I don't know what else to do. It was, and I have not been able to stop thinking about it or smelling it, or I'm just, every time I close my eyes, I see that. I felt tough up until this morning.
I got to tell you, I agree with Sealand on this kind of conspiracy.
We can remove the image, please. Thank you so much.
I feel like something got a hold of the thing that broke into your garage.
How did they break into the garage? Michael
I don't
sealed
know.
everything up. I don't understand what's happening here.
It's very strange looking, and I'll be interested
if Michael
to hear.
sealed everything up, maybe it was already
fault.
in there.
Oh, no.
Maybe
he locked it in there.
Maybe he sealed it so well.
Please don't do this to me.
Well, we'll hear from the professional. I'm sure they'll give you the rundown of what happened here. And,
I really hope that they show up as soon as possible. But yeah, that's what I've been dealing with. I mean, that's, I think I'm feeling fortunate that I'm not a homeowner because I don't know at that point what I would have done.
Jeremy on YouTube says Sabrina looks like she's cosplaying a housewife Bane in that pic. The mask does give Bane vibes, I think. Yes,
it didn't help. The smell is forever embedded in my body.
Godspeed, and let us know how that goes when you get a report back. Fine, feel okay. I feel with it.
Laser, bacon.
Oh, let me tell you something, friends. I went on Saturday morning about 10:30 to go get the laser tattoo removal thing done.
For your tramp stamp.
For a tattoo that's on my back. It happens to be lower down in location. And so I go over there to this appointment, and it's like a nondescript office in back of all this stuff. And I go and I check in.
You have to use a code word to get in?
I don't know. It just felt weird. It felt a little like there was no, I don't know. I haven't been to a doctor's office that long. Isn't there usually stuff in there like lamps and art?
I'm sorry, are we in the complete darkness?
We walked in and it was just a white room with a couple of couches, like 2 couches side by side. And there was 4 or 5 people already waiting in there.
I've seen a porn that starts off that way.
I swear to God, it felt kind of like that. It felt like you're sitting on the leather couch here. And they had a television on with Brooklyn Nine-Nine playing. And so I go, okay, I guess I'm going to watch this. And I realize it's kind of a funny show. I missed out on that. And some guy comes after me. And this guy is a mess of a human being. I'm so blown away that these people are able to make it through their life as adults. This guy, he stumbles in the front door of this tattoo removal place. And he goes, oh, Daisy, or the girl behind the counter is Daisy. Daisy, I do it every week. I'm sorry, I screwed up the time again. I should just wake up and head right over here. And she goes, it's okay, just take a seat. And this weirdo.
Every week he's been there?
I don't know. The guy's strange. As strange as it gets. He sits down right next to me on this couch. Like not even an inch between us. His butt's touching my butt. It's a moon landing on this couch as we're watching Brooklyn Nine-Nine together. Now, he's not a fan of Brooklyn Nine-Nine, it seems. And he pulls out his phone. And I don't like this move, but he proceeds to pull up TikTok on his phone with full volume right next to me, doing a moon landing with me as we're sitting on this couch.
His algorithm, not very similar to yours.
His algorithm is apparently all wolf howls. The entire thing. So the guy fires up his phone, and I hear, ow, 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 and he goes, oh man, and he scrolls, and he goes, ow, 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 and then oh man, that's a good one, and he's just scrolling and scrolling. His entire feed was that. This guy's rolling through Wolf House.
That's so weird. All right.
And afterwards, he would give little signs of approval or disapproval. Like he heard one, he was like, no.
Pussy wolf.
Just scroll to the next one. Oh, and he'd go, oh, man, that's a good one. And he'd move on. And I go, what is this dude's thing? What is happening with this guy? And so they finally call me in, and I've never been through such a whirlwind. Like, door opens. I thought there might be one person in there. There's two women. They're like, hey, Sean, thank you for being in here for your appointment. Where's the tattoo? I said, the tattoo's right here. They go, all right, lay face down. This is going to hurt really, really bad. It's going to be like bacon frying, and we're going to blow some cold air on your back as we do this and just make it get comfortable. And you grab these rings, and here's the thing to put in your mouth. You can bite on this when the pain gets bad.
They give you a gag box?
What's happening?
Where did you find this place, man?
It's legit. It's legit. It's a legit place. It wasn't very cheap. It was $400 for one treatment. And I'm holding on to rings, one ring in each hand. I got like a bite thing in my mouth.
Are you getting tattoos removed in a sex dungeon?
I might be. I don't know. I'm not sure yet. And then this lady starts to hit me with this tattoo removal laser. I have not felt this kind of pain in my entire life.
So it was bacon?
If a tattoo is, I would say, a 5, this was an 8.5. And she goes, just tell me if it's too much and you need me to take a break. And I looked at this lady, one of the few interactions we had because everything was going so fast. And I go, I'm not going to need a break. I'll just muscle through it.
All right.
And about 12 seconds in, I was thinking, I got to ask for a break. I got to say something. But
Did you make a sound?
I was like,
well, you haven't even touched your skin yet, sir.
She's
just
going
getting everything prepped.
And she's being so sweet and so professional. She's going, okay, we're about 50% through. We're about done with the bottom part. Okay, we're moving up a little higher. She's guiding me through, like, mentally where I'm at on this.
I'll just keep the tattoo. Never mind.
I'm biting down. Oh, my God. And I was so close to screaming out, give me a break. I need a break here. I was so close to screaming. Can we pause for 15 seconds while I recover for a second? And then she goes, all right, that's it. And I go, nothing. Not bad at all. There's a breeze.
You have another session, don't you?
Oh, do I? This might be 8 to 10.
Jesus,
fully,
what did they do to you in 2001?
That's how it goes. That's how this process works, I guess.
So how does it look?
Barely any different so far.
Dang, man.
It takes a while. And then you got to go home and it goes through your bloodstream. And you got to drink a whole bunch of water and slowly it starts to fade. And it's a whole process.
Do you think at this point you just want to maybe just cover it up?
No. It would be I would have to do a full back tattoo if I covered it up. I'm just going to muscle through these treatments and try to stay away from the wolf howl guy.
Oh.
That was the weirdest thing I've experienced in a while. They're saying over a chat, $400 is a lot of money for removal. That's one treatment, friend.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, it might take up to 10 to get the whole thing done. And they're going, wow, this one is fared rather remarkably. That's not what I want to hear right now. I want to hear we're going to zap this out on the first try like we do with all the videos on our Instagram page right now. Didn't work out that way. All right, let's put our ears to the ground, our fingers on the pulse. Let's see what's happening in this great big wide world of ours. And we go to the NFL, friends.
Yeah.
Football. In fact, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I don't know how they're doing this year, but I hope they're doing okay, just like I hope all football teams. I hope they're all doing okay. I don't have a team that's mine, so I'm rooting for all you guys.
Wow.
So in this case, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they were given
very Rob Lowe of you.
NFL. I'm Team NFL. This is the Buccaneers rookies. They give them an item, and because they're young, they have to guess what the item is, and it just makes me feel old.
This is
VHS tape for the record.
Back in the day, and it's like a DVD, DVR.
No way. It's really like that now?
I know.
Yes.
No.
This little DVD thing that you used to put in the what's it called? VCR? A VHS, right?
Yep. Finally.
VHS tape.
Oh, no.
You got to remember, all these guys now, rookie football players,
How
were
old are
born
they?
post 2001, right? They were born in the early 2000s.
I wish you didn't show me this or anybody.
I'm just
wild.
a man. I'm a man from the 1900s, so it's hard for me to connect with this. I understand what a VHS tape is. I've also been watching Paranormal Activity, the series, and they are all filmed on these, so I'm really up to
I
snuff.
just like the guy said DVD, which was after we all experienced VHS.
The next thing they hand up is Power Rangers characters.
Power Rangers. Absolutely a Power Ranger.
Nailed it.
I was a 2000s baby, and I played with Power Rangers.
Right.
Floppy
Oh,
disk.
God.
You
said DVD again?
You said CD.
CD? Oh, no. IBM?
That guy's an IBM.
It might say IBM on the
I think
disc.
I have never felt more old in my life.
I would have known what all of these are.
Floppy disk. Is that what it is? Is that a floppy disk? Dang, I would have never gotten that. He's like 24. He's basically a 90s baby.
Well, so old.
What are you doing here? That's a floppy disk.
I never heard of that.
So that was called a floppy disk.
Yeah.
Cassette tape.
Well, those are coming back.
Yeah, this thing we used to put in
What?
the music. You put in like a music thing.
You put it in the music thing and it plays the tunes, he says.
No way. It's not been that
Man,
long.
I know. It's their whole world is MP3s. It's not even physical music.
No, Sean, they don't even know what MP3 is.
They probably don't. They just know a Spotify.
If you were to hand them a record, would they go like, oh, this is what the DJ uses?
Maybe. Or vinyl. Because that's still, you still see it in the store. I just went to Target the other day, and we were wandering around Target, and when we got by the electronics area, they had LPs, or they had like vinyls out there that they had for sale. It was, strangely enough, the only music they had. There was no CDs, and there were no, obviously tapes or anything, but there were vinyl records out, like maybe Taylor Swift or I don't know, whatever current artist they had out there was up in the store. They have no idea. Aria Shadowblade says, this is taking years off my life. Yeah, it's painful. It's painful when you watch this.
I had the same thought as Dispatch Dan, because we're both nerds, I guess, that he said that wasn't the real floppy disk. The real floppy disk was the 5 1/4, which actually did bend and was floppy.
Even older, right?
Yeah.
That's the early ones that had so little storage space. You could barely
put
do
all
anything.
of one picture on it.
Man, it's something else. We're going to get into
Are there
Menendez.
just emojis that these people scroll by that they don't even know? Like, I don't know what that is.
Whatever that object
There's
is.
a VHS tape emoji.
The Menendez Brothers show is out and has a lot of people talking.
We've been liking it. We're 2 episodes in, I think, and it's been real good.
The Menendez brothers are not very happy.
Well,
we're going to talk about why. We're going to talk about what's happening with this. We're going to talk about why this is taking off right now. We'll discuss that. We'll also talk about what's happening at the box office. Actually, we can work that in right now. Oh. Very weird. At the box office, they announced that Transformers 1 was going to be tops for the weekend. And then at the last minute, it got just edged out by Beetlejuice. So that's on top again. Transformers 1, which is kind of strange. I don't know if that's supposed to be a throwback, but the animation looks very 80s, I guess I would say. The animation for Transformers 1.
Is it a cartoon?
Yeah, it's not like one of the movies that Shia LaBeouf was in or one of the Transformers actual movies. It's a cartoon thing, and I wouldn't call it anime. I would just call it looks like 80s cartoons. It's kind of strange, but there it is. Speak No Evil is number 3. Never Let Go, which is a new Halle Berry movie, which I thought looked kind of interesting. She's got her kids chained up and stuff. And the premise is like there's an evil force that is holding back this family, and they must stay inside their house. And the evil force is going to wipe them out if they go anywhere near it. And then the kids start getting a little older, and they start questioning whether there's really a force or the mom is lying to them. And there's the start of the movie, which I thought sounds pretty cool. But that got 4th place. Deadpool and Wolverine still in there at number 5 for the weekend. Lots of money in the box office. While many people stayed home and watched the Menendez brothers thing.
Oh, on season 3, Handmaid's Tale.
Oh my God, you are flying through Handmaid's Tale.
Oh, yeah. That's all I could think
All right,
about, except for that thing in my garage.
I forget what's going on in season 3. Wait, where are you at
started.
in the story?
There's been multiple, I don't know, spoiler alert, multiple escapes, attempts. And let's see, it was a main gal who was just about to get her go-ahead because everything was on fire. And she's like, just take the baby. That isn't mine, but it's kind of mine.
All right, I want you to bottle something up.
And the girl without the man in the boat.
All right, the feeling that you have right now, the feeling that you have watching this show and wondering about what else is going on out there, bottle that up because it's going to go away.
You really think so?
Yes, I know so. It's going to go away.
But don't you think I'd have a different view of it because I'm a woman?
No, I don't think so.
All right, I gotta finish it. I know that. I know that I won't watch anything else until this is over, and then
if I tell you why I feel the way that I feel, it's going to be a spoiler. Okay. So it would be tantamount to somebody goes, "Oh, I'm watching Lost," and you go, "Oh, the whole thing's fake."
Oh, come on, man!
If somebody was about to watch Lost,
don't tell me the whole thing's fake.
Somebody's going to watch. I See Dead People. What's that one called?
Sixth Sense.
Somebody's going to watch Sixth Sense, and I say he's dead the whole time. And you're going to ruin the whole thing. But it's none of those. It's not those. It's just if you know the thing, then you go, oh.
You know. Okay. All right. Well, don't tell me, please. I'm not.
I won't.
By the end of the week, I'm sure I'll get this done.
I'll back away. We're going to talk about the Menendez Brothers series. And if you're watching that, let us know. Go over to thenewsjunkie.com. What really happened versus what was on the screen. There's some really good details there that we need to talk about. And a listener sends in an email because some rodeo bulls escaped in his neighborhood. We'll tackle that at some point. That's all coming up next on the News Junkie.
We are Real Radio 104.1. Online at realradio.fm. On your phone with the free iHeartRadio app. And, hey Google, play Real Radio 104.1 on iHeartRadio.
I would be happy to.
From the Clausman Law Traffic Center, car crash, call Clausman Law. ClausmanLaw.com.
Authorities are still working on that accident on International Speedway Boulevard between 95 and Williamson Boulevard. There's still heavy congestion due to that earlier accident on Florida's Turnpike southbound between County Road 561 and Hancock Road. And there's stop-and-go traffic on I-4 eastbound approaching State Road 429. If you see traffic troubles, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by ExpressPros.com. If your supply chain demands a flexible workforce, hire with Express Employment Professionals. With contract and full-time workers from Express Employment, you get the staff you need and manage contingent labor costs. Learn more at ExpressPros.com. That's ExpressPros.com.
The biggest headliners in live music shared the stage this past weekend at our 2024 iHeartRadio Music Festival, presented by Capital One.
Big Sean,
Camila Cabello, Doja Cat, Dua Lipa, Gwen Stefani, Halsey,
Hosier, Keith Urban,
New Kids on the Block, Paramore,
Shabuzi, The Black Crowes, The Weeknd, Thomas Rhett,
Victoria Monet,
Christopher Van Copley.
This lineup for this festival is nuts.
The iHeartRadio Music Festival.
Get ready to relive the once-in-a-lifetime moments starting October 7th, only on Hulu.
We all think about buying a house instead of renting, right? But did you ever realize you're renting your electricity every single month? Yep, overpaying the power company and watching prices rise every year. This year alone, prices have jumped over 10%. Isn't it time you own your own power with Solar Source? I started with my pool heater going solar, and now I'm thrilled with Solar Source's pay-as-you-go system where I can save each month starting at only $99. Now, Solar Source isn't new to this game. They've been in business for nearly 40 years with the same phone number since 1984 and over 60,000 installations right here in Central Florida. They are the company I trust. Are you ready to stop renting your electricity? Switch to Solar Source today and start owning your own power. Switch to Solar Source today by going to solarsource.com/monster. Honestly, going Solar Source has been the best thing we've done all year. I absolutely love the company, and you save more money when you tell them you know Russ Rollins. That's solarsource.com/monsters.
Buying a house or selling yours? The Nickley Group makes it as easy as ABC. And 1, 2... Oh, and fast, too, because the Nickley Group can get a guaranteed cash offer on your home today. Just visit thenickley.group.com.
Frank Gay Services has something cool for you. Keep your AC running smoothly with our expert service. Experienced, professional, friendly, and speedy care that earned us thousands of 5-star reviews. That's the Frank Gay way. Visit frankgayservices.com or call for details.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at getethos.com. That's getethos.com.
Sweet chocolate reward. Sweet chocolate reward.
This is not just the sound of someone picking up a sweet treat at Walgreens. This is the sound of someone picking up a sweet treat right after receiving all their vaccines in one trip. This is the sound of treating yourself, because you protected yourself.
Stop by or schedule both your flu and COVID-19 vaccines today and grab yourself a sweet treat while you're at it. Vaccine subject to availability. State, age, and health-related restrictions may apply.
Mom, meet Sarah.
From first-time Nana moments.
Yeah, welcome to Flight 101.
To annual girls trip moments. Your can't-miss moments are worth protecting against RSV. If you're 75 or older or 60 plus with a chronic condition like asthma, COPD, heart disease, or severe diabetes, you're at higher risk of landing in the hospital from RSV. And there are no prescription RSV treatments. Check eligibility and schedule your RSV vaccine at vaxassist.com.
So where should we go next?
Sponsored by Pfizer.
At Mayo Clinic in Florida, we're seeing the unseeable. Using advanced imaging technology, our experts can look deeper into the human body, uncovering the smallest of details that would otherwise go unnoticed, leading to more accurate diagnoses and treatments. We're making more possible at Mayo Clinic because every day we're doing what's never been done. Learn more at mayoclinic.org/possible. Mayo Clinic. You know where to go.
Every morning brings new opportunities. That's why I love McDonald's new limited-time breakfast deal. For just $5, I can mix and match 2 of my favorite breakfast sandwiches to make all new flavor combinations. Today, I'm starting my morning with a sausage McMuffin with egg and an Egg McMuffin for just $5. Tomorrow, I may mix it up with 2 Egg McMuffins. So, it's a new day, but the same great 2 for $5 deal. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Prices and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal. Single item at regular price. What's better than air conditioning? A portable air conditioner you can take anywhere. Enter McDonald's. Their drinks always cool me down, so I call them Air Cup-ditioners. Air Cup-ditioners come in all my favorites, like Classic Coke, Southern Style Sweet Tea, Frozen Fanta Blue Raspberry, and, of course, iced coffee. And they're incredibly cost-effective. Any size is just $1.59 all day. Air drinks. Men, they're drinks from McDonald's. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Prices and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal. Coca-Cola and Fanta are registered trademarks of the Coca-Cola Company.
I never thought much about final expenses until my dad passed away last year. That's when I decided to take control of my own final expense planning. Then I found the Smart Bunny Insurance app. I secured a final expense insurance policy that fits my needs and budget. You can get coverage up to $25,000 with policies starting as low as $14 per month. Download the Smart Bunny Insurance app today and take the first step towards your peace of mind.
Insurance sold by Smart Bunny Insurance Services, Inc. Underwritten by various insurers. Coverage exclusions and limitations may apply.
The free iHeartRadio app has over 100 commercial-free stations waiting for you to explore right now, like the Beatles Now and Then, celebrating all things Beatles. Legendary clips, deep cuts, live performances, and all their solo hits. Just open the free iHeartRadio app and search the Beatles Now and Then and listen now. iHeartRadio. Free never sounded so good.
iHeartRadio.
On the bright side, we're not dead. And yet, you're listening.
Before too long, there will be a brand new design drop at thenewsjunkie.com. Just a heads up for you. We have to talk.
Oh, wow. What a
We
tease.
have to talk about this new Netflix show because I know C-Lane's watching it. Courtney is watching it, which means I'm kind of watching it, but she's watching it as one of her shows, so she can watch it without me and get
nice
disconnected.
You guys could do that.
It's not great, but, it is what it is. Then after she finishes the series, she'll go, oh, my God, it was so good. And I'll go, huh, would have been nice to watch. Yeah, well, I would have loved to share that with you. And she goes, oh, I'll rewatch it with you. It's not the same. It's just not the same. But this one is called Monsters on Netflix, and it's about the Menendez brothers, and you youngins will probably not know who they are. But they were...
the floppy disk of murder?
Kind of. Because it's 1989. I was 8 years old. Most of you not even born.
I wasn't alive.
Yeah, this was a long, long time ago. But the trial was sensational. It was big, like the OJ trial. And the Menendez brothers killed the parents, and they did it in a pretty brutal way. But they responded to all the charges against them by suggesting this was because they had been abused by their father. And their mother had allowed this to happen, so they wanted to get some revenge here. None of that really matters because it doesn't allow for you to just kill people, but it was part of the case overall. And, at risk of spoiling a news story that's turned into a docuseries, they go on trial, they get hung jury. They go on trial, they get a hung jury. And then I think it took like the third time and some of the rules in the courtroom to be changed to finally get a conviction against these guys.
The first time they were tried separately, I believe, right?
Yeah, I think so. And then I think they were going, if we're going to redo this, let's pair them together. Here's what it says on Wiki about these folks. On the evening of August 20th, 1989, Jose and Kitty were watching their television in the den of their Beverly Hills mansion when Lyle and Eric Menendez entered the den. Jose and Kitty are the mother and father. Lyle and Eric were carrying Mossberg 12-gauge shotguns. Jose, the father, was shot 6 times, including a fatal shot to the back of his head. Kitty was shot 10 times in total. Before the fatal shot to her cheek, she was on the ground, slowly crawling and crying.
These guys were bad shots.
Oh, yeah, they unloaded on these parents of theirs. Lyle ran to his car to reload before firing the fatal shot to her face. So homeboy fled the scene, had to get more ammo, and went back into the house put one in his mom's cheek after that, which is just insane. Immediately after the killings, both brothers remained in the house expecting the police to respond due to the noise of the gunshots. When the police arrived, the brothers told them the killings had occurred while they were at a movie theater watching Batman.
Murder.
Just for the record, that's original Batman. Batman back in the day, Batman. And they said they were at the movie and they went to the Taste of L.A. festival at the Santa Monica Civic Auditorium. The police did not seek gunshot residue tests from the brothers, which would have indicated whether they had recently discharged a firearm. Big mistake there. In the months after the killings, the brothers began to spend...
Would you have to submit to a gunshot residue test?
I think they can get a warrant, I think, to make you do that. Put that on the Mo list.
Okay.
Because that's a good question.
This is a classic question.
The brothers began to spend lavishly on luxury items, businesses, and travel.
Also put in the notes, though, give Mo no context. See if he thinks we murdered or not.
Lyle bought Chuck's Spring Street Cafe, a Buffalo Wing restaurant in Princeton, New Jersey, as well as a Rolex watch and a Porsche Carrera. Eric hired a full-time tennis coach and competed in a series of tournaments in Israel. The brothers eventually left the Beverly Hills mansion unoccupied, choosing to live in adjoining condominiums in nearby Marina Del Rey. They probably wanted to be outside of the house where the Menendez brothers killed their parents. They also dined expensively and took overseas trips to the Caribbean and London. Collectively, they spent about $700,000 before they were arrested. Family members later disputed a connection between their spending and the murder of their parents, claiming there were no changes in their spending habits after the killings.
So they were already just going wild spending before that?
Allegedly. But the reason they bring all this up is because the motive, according to the prosecution, was that these kids were going to get cut out of dad's really big payout upon death. And if they weren't going to get the money when their parents died, well, they're going to have to find another way to get at that cash. And then they went and killed them. At one point, they attended a New York Knicks basketball game, which became immortalized when they appeared courtside in the background of a Mark Jackson trading card. And then things got kind of crazy here. They said during the early stages of the investigation, police tried to narrow their search to suspects who had motives to kill Jose and Kitty, and also, investigated potential mob leads. As the investigation continued, they began to suspect the brothers were the most likely perpetrators due to the obvious financial motive and their exorbitant spending after the killings. So now they said this all came out when Eric Menendez eventually confessed to his psychologist. Now, his psychologist was a guy named Jeremy Ozio, and he had a mistress. And his mistress is the one he shared this information with. But then they broke up, right? Dang. They broke up. And in a fit of rage, she goes to the cops and she goes, the Menendez brothers admitted that they killed their parents to their psychologist, and here's the guy who it is.
But I thought when it came to like patient-doctor privilege, that was kind of out the window when it came to murder.
Excellent point.
I think that you can break doctor-patient confidentiality if the patient says he's going to murder somebody.
Yes.
So you can break it in order to save somebody's life. But
I think it's actually more than that. I think you can break doctor-patient confidentiality if they're going to harm themselves or somebody else.
Correct.
Yeah. So, like, if you think there's an impending thing that's going to happen, you could break that. But that's not what happened here. In August 1990, Judge James Albrecht ruled the tapes of the conversations, because these were recorded, between Eric and his psychologist were admissible evidence since the doctor said Lyle Menendez threatened him. He made a threat to him. So that gets rid of your doctor-patient privilege. The ruling was appealed, and they delayed everything for 2 years. And then the Supreme Court of California said most of the tapes were admissible except for one where he discussed the murders themselves. And then after that, things rolled on from there in 1992, a couple of years later. It was a huge deal.
Weird.
The TV show is out now. And it's kind of cool the way they filmed it. It's got a good look to it. I think it's done by the American Horror Story people, so it kind of has a familiar vibe if you've seen
Ryan
that.
Murphy?
I think so. I think he's one of the people who was behind this. The Menendez brothers are not happy about this. So they do not dig it.
Do they just, get to watch it because they're the subject of it? Like, did somebody in prison kind of take them aside and go, all right, here's our Netflix account?
I don't know. But he's making commentary on it as if he's seen it, or perhaps at the very least, somebody else has seen it and explained to him.
Somebody probably called him up and said, you guys look gay.
Yes, because not only do they have incestuous hints in the plot.
I mean, there are I think there are some lip kisses, but there's just some behavior that you don't think two brothers would be having. And there's even they're having a lavish party where they're doing a bunch of cocaine, or one of them is, and then they're dancing together weird, and even the girls at the party are looking at them like,
what's going on?
What?
What's happening right here? So if somebody has watched this, I want to hear from you. And I'm interested because Courtney doesn't know much about the Menendez brothers case. She's been reading up a little bit after she's been watching the series on Netflix, but she didn't know too much about it. So if you watch a docuseries or a documentary, it always has a point of view, a POV. And in this case, I think they're trying to be at least decent to the Menendez brothers in making you feel like there was a reason for them to do this. So she's kind of watching it and being like, well, I don't know. I don't blame them. I don't blame them if they did this, if this is what was happening to them. And I think it's kind of shaping people's reactions that way. But if you've seen this, let us know what you think so far about this case that's so old, but that's been revived as a result of Netflix once more. Go to thenewsjunkie.com and send us your dispatch right now. Skip on YouTube says they're the OG Island Boys.
Island boys killing our parents.
Kinda, yeah. We'll get to this rodeo escape and what's happening in this town in Massachusetts. It's pandemonium and the details are interesting. That is coming up next on the News Junkie.
Coming up tonight on Real Radio at 7, it's a corporate time with Tom and Dan. Brought to you by MyEternalVitality.com and Modern Plumbing Industries. At 9 p.m., it's Real Laughs with comedians James Miguel and Ken. And Real Music starts tonight at 10 on Real Radio 104.1.
This weather report is brought to you by Mills Air. Hi there, I'm Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist Brooks Garner with your Fox 35 Central Florida forecast. For today and tomorrow, rain-free conditions. Yeah, we're looking at a high around 91 degrees. It'll be humid, but it won't be rainy. This will be the calm before the storm. A calm because we've got a developing tropical system in the Caribbean working into the Gulf of Mexico that could bring tropical storm conditions to parts of our region by Thursday with wind and rain. Stay close to the forecast and stay close to the Fox 35 Storm Team. I'm meteorologist Brooks Garner.
This report is sponsored by Indeed.com. Need to hire? You need Indeed. Their end-to-end solution helps you attract, interview, and hire candidates all year round. Schedule and conduct virtual interviews right from your Indeed dashboard. Learn more by visiting Indeed.com/credit.
Hi, my name's Tim Forehand. I'm a deputy sheriff. In my job, keeping me in shape is important. I've tried other products to get my weight down, but nothing has worked like Android 400. In just 3 months, I've dropped 51 pounds, down from 230 to 179. Plus, the weight's come off in the stomach area. I've gone from a snug 36-inch waist to a 32-inch waist, which I was in high school. I highly recommend the Android 400 to all my friends.
Guys, are you frustrated because no matter how hard you try, it seems impossible to lose stubborn belly fat? Then discover why thousands of men each month rely on Andro 400. Lose belly fat, gain energy and confidence, and feel great about yourself. Andro 400, the safe, effective, and inexpensive way to boost your testosterone. Go to andro400.com or call 888-400-0435.
Sweet chocolate reward. Sweet chocolate reward.
This is not just the sound of someone picking up a sweet treat at Walgreens. This is the sound of someone picking up a sweet treat right after receiving all their vaccines in one trip. This is the sound of treating yourself, because you protected yourself.
Stop by or schedule both your flu and COVID-19 vaccines today and grab yourself a sweet treat while you're at it. Vaccine subject to availability. State, age, and health-related restrictions may apply.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at getethos.com. That's getethos.com.
Racetrack's here for whatever gets you going. Like when you've been working nonstop, on the road and on the go like you do it for a living. 'Cause you do. Then there's the company softball game. Boom, you're there. Walking the dog. Pow, he's a happy boy. Coffee with dad. Definitely gonna make that happen. You've got it in the bag. Just one quick stop at Racetrack and you're still the favorite son. Because you've always got time to share a coffee with someone special. Racetrack. Whatever gets you going.
With 3 generations and over 45 years of Florida experience, Handyman Roofing knows storms and hurricanes. We know how to evaluate storm-damaged roofs and not cause more damage. Handyman Roofing has the expertise to get your roof done. Plus, easy financing in case your insurance company is dragging its feet. With multiple emergency response teams ready, Handyman Roofing will be by your side now when you need it the most.
Knows how to get things done. Count on Handyman Roofing to get it done. Handyman Roofing to get it done.
Everywhere you look, things are getting more expensive. So at Consumer Cellular, we're lowering the price for those 50 and up. Now you can get unlimited talk, text, and data for $30 a line when you buy 2. That's just $60 a month for 2 unlimited lines. So if you're 50 and up, make the switch and save. Come on, you've earned this. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com today. Requires 2 lines of service, age validation, and credit approval, subject to system and area limits, taxes, and other fees apply.
Whenever you need us, just reach out and we'll be there with more locations, more experts, and more resources to deliver the healthcare you need. Healthcare.com.
Real Radio is on Instagram at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Have you been in an accident? Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
Hear it here first. Then everyone else will catch up in a week or 2 or 4. You're listening.
Your eyes on the newsjunkie.com. The magnet is already up in the Game of Magnets section if you want to take a peek. I really like this one, and it's going to be on sale very soon. I am not to blame for this. I just want to get ahead of this. I already see a pushback. I am not the reason why any of this stuff is happening. I do not have this sort of power, even though you guys think I could just gin up hurricanes out of nowhere. Just because I said it's been a very quiet hurricane season and you think that that's going to bring out the storms doesn't mean I'm actually responsible. So there. But with that said, there is a potential hurricane that's going to hit the southeastern United States this week. And that kind of sucks.
Sweet.
This is not great. This is a storm that is Tropical Cyclone 9 at the moment. And, of course, stay with the show. We'll keep you up on what's happening with this as it develops.
Name Heather?
Is that it? It doesn't say it on here. So, yeah, I'm going to no, it's, yeah, well, this says Debbie, but that's something different. Helene. Yeah, the system will be called Helene after it strengthens and organizes. It's got a 90% chance of becoming a named storm. So, pretty good chance of turning into something. Panhandle, here's looking at you, kid, because on Friday, this thing might be right over the top of you.
No good.
It could impact Mexico a little bit, could impact our friends in Alabama or Mississippi, but somewhere in that armpit of Florida is where this storm looks like it's possibly headed. So all eyes on this over the next week or so. You'll know more about where it's going to land, I think, by Wednesday. So check that out, and we'll keep you up with what's going on. Abraham on Twitch says, wait, is he selling the magnet? No. It's just, it's posted. You can see the image of it over on the newsjunkie.com in the Game of Magnets section. Hope nobody gets hit by this. Hope it fizzles out, but I got to stay ahead of it. So that's where we are now from the National Hurricane Center.
We heard quite a few months back that this was going to be the worst hurricane season yet.
Mm-hmm.
We kind of have yet to see that as far as, where we're coming from and broadcasting from, but we're overdue. I've yet to see anything.
When does it end? When's the hurricane season over? December? I always forget. Forgive me. I don't know when the hurricane season ends, but we'll bring that up in a moment here.
November 30th.
Oh, okay. All right. So we just got to get through October and November and hope that not too much happens in that time. And then we'll have Beat the Experts once again. You experts. My God. I saw a thing this weekend. I'll get to this Rodeo Bulls thing, but I thought it was so interesting. It's a piece in the New York Times this weekend. Hold on. Hang on. Don't run away from me just yet. And this story was about consensus among doctors and how doctors tend to go with tradition and things that they've been taught over new information. And a lot of times you'll find a scenario where the doctors are all in lockstep and they're all wrong. They're all wrong. Then they're hard-headed about it. And one of the several examples they gave in the New York Times was there was a study done years ago. And this study, and C-Lane might have thoughts on this because it could impact him. This study suggested that all the evidence shows you are a smart parent and it's better off if you introduce peanut butter or peanuts to your infant child, to your child when they're very, very young. And they showed that introducing this to very young kids under the age of 1 made it so there was only a tiny, tiny chance that in childhood and adulthood, they would have a peanut allergy. There was clearly a correlation between experimenting early with giving them peanuts as a child and them not having that peanut allergy as they grow older. They gave this study to doctors. They published it in a journal, did all that stuff. And the doctors said, no. And so they repeated it. And it came back with the same results over and over and over. They did these studies, and the doctors stayed in lockstep. Nope, this is wrong. This information is not right. We can't change our mind on this, blah, 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 blah. And so finally, the dam broke, and the doctors were like, there's so much evidence out here. We have to finally admit that we were wrong, and we have to start changing the advice that we give to parents. But for years, decades even, they were giving advice to parents that was wrong, and they knew there was evidence out there against it. But the doctors, the experts, kept going with it. And now it's kind of a weird thing because I know, C-Lane, if you were to take Lil Jackson and go, here's a bit of peanut butter, here's some peanuts, it feels like you're really rolling the dice. It feels like
he's had peanut treats already. We tried to do that right around 6 months.
Really? Now, did your doctor tell you to do that, or was that something that you just had heard from other parents? Or
I want to say it was a little both.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because we bought we bought like these little puffs, and there's like different flavors, but I wanted to make sure and get a peanut one so we could start introducing him to that so that he wouldn't be crazy allergic.
Yeah, years ago, or even in recent years, the doctor would not have told you to do that. That would not have been the advice of the doctor.
Well, he blew a puff of cigarette smoke in your baby's face.
Like 5 years ago, the doctor would have said, no, we absolutely don't recommend that. I can kind of understand in some ways where the doctor would go, if I start advising all these parents to give all their children peanuts, well, some number of them is going to have a bad response to that. So I don't want to be responsible for this.
But that's the whole thing with when it comes to like the allergy shots and the immunity of it. Like it's the closest thing, and that's at least what my allergist told me years ago. It's the closest thing to a cure in medicine because you are able to fight that allergy with putting in that allergy in your body. Obviously absorbing it. I remember like, hey, if we want to start this process, one, it's going to cost so much money. Two, you got to stay at the office for 3 hours with an EpiPen in your hand just in case. But down the road, you would be free of these allergies. So I imagine that's why they want you to build that immunity.
You're building up tolerance and immunity over time. Your body is built to do that. If you're not exposed to it at a young age, you're more likely to have one of those very severe peanut allergies. But the doctors rejected this. And Kurt says on YouTube, it's like any profession that requires a lot of training. You're learning from somebody else's old data. New techniques and hypotheses arise. That's true, but the problem is we need to have a culture amongst medical professionals when those new techniques arise that you move fast. They are able to do it. I know they are. We were talking this weekend, Courtney and I, about how absolutely stunning and amazing it is, how mind-blowing it is. And nobody takes a moment to sit there and think about this, that just 30 years ago, HIV was a death sentence. You were told that you had HIV, see you later. Say goodbye to your friends. You're done. It's over with. You're not going to survive this. Magic Johnson announces, hey, I've got HIV. Nobody in basketball wants to play with him anymore. Why? Because if you get this stuff, you're going to die. Magic Johnson is one of those people who was born right on the cusp. He lived through a time where there was a threat of death, and then all of a sudden everything changed. The medical professionals changed. The advice they were giving changed. The medicines out there changed. Now you have things like PrEP and various other things, and now it's all, I don't want to say it's not a threat, but it's nowhere near.
A lot more preventable.
Yes, absolutely preventable and survivable, more importantly. If you do get it, your chances of survival are around 100% if you take care of yourself. Now, that's crazy. And you need doctors to adopt very quickly when things like that change fast. It does happen. Over to a rodeo. This was in Massachusetts, allegedly, and I'm rooting for the Bulls. They escaped. They got out. The Bulls were on full parade. They're running. They're jumping over fences.
Oh, damn.
They're just off into the races through the city. These bulls are running. They escaped from this event, and they had them in a pen at a mall, which I'm sorry.
Solid.
So, did they just get cowboys to...
I don't feel like any cowboys were there.
They tried to rope them in for quite some time, and they missed them on multiple opportunities. I think they may have successfully gotten them now. It was in North Attleboro, Massachusetts. Of course, this is a visual. I'm going to pop it up for you right now over on See It Now on thenewsjunkie.com. But these bulls got out, had probably the most exciting day of their lives, just roaming free as was meant to be. I told you we could do it, you know? Bulls Escape Mall. There you are. It's up on thenewsjunkie.com on See It Now. Take a look at that video when you get a chance. When we come back, I'm going to tell you something that couples are starting to do that I absolutely despise. I will never, ever, ever do this, even though people are swearing by this. But I want to know if either the two of you or anybody
Oh,
else
with your judgy ass.
would think about doing this. All right, I'm going to tell you what it is that couples are starting to do that I just scoff at as much as one could scoff. But we'll see what you think about this tactic. That is coming up next on the News Junkie.
Election day is getting close, but the deadline to register to vote is even closer. Details at realradio.fm/vote2024. Make your voice heard.
From the Clausman Law Traffic Center, car crash, call Clausman Law. ClausmanLaw.com.
Traffic is slowing down at the intersection where Vine Street meets John Young Parkway. There's off-ramp backup from the Greenway southbound to Colonial Drive. Heavy congestion due to an earlier accident on Florida's Turnpike between County Road 561 and Hancock Road, and traffic is slowing down on I-4 approaching State Road 429 there. If you see traffic troubles, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by Morgan & Morgan Injury Law Firm.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Today, we're the largest injury firm in the world, and I'm thankful to you for trusting us all these years. We'll always be here for the people, not the powerful. Injured? The choice is easy. Morgan & Morgan. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Did you know that Mortgage Guy Don also does commercial and small business administration loans? If you have an existing SBA loan with a rate of 9% or more, then you are in luck, my friends. That Mortgage Guy Don can refinance your qualified high-interest SBA loan to a low fixed rate of 8.25%. Don't leave money on the table. Let that Mortgage Guy Don help you get the money off the table and back in your hands where it belongs. Even if you want to buy a franchise or a business, that Mortgage Guy Don has your back with over 50 sources for your SBA and business loans of all sizes. Get the process started today by going to thatmortgageguydon.com.
Don't miss the vote. Compare your quote with thatmortgageguydon.com.
I'm John Morgan, and I'm asking you to stand with me and vote yes on Amendment 3. Amendment 3 will be on your ballot in November, and it will allow adults to possess or safely use marijuana, and that's a very good thing. Amendment 3 will put an end to bad laws that not only cost us millions in law enforcement dollars, but also cost thousands of Floridians their freedom. Nearly 250 years ago, our nation declared our independence. Now it's time for us to declare our independence from laws that demand jail time for simply having or consuming marijuana. Our system of treating adults who consume marijuana as criminals is madness. Join me, John Morgan, in supporting our own Declaration of Independence and vote for the people and vote yes on Amendment 3.
Paid political advertisement paid for by Smart and Safe Florida, 1400 Village Square Boulevard, Suite 3, 321, Tallahassee, Florida, 32312.
Score your next used car during the Winning Drive sales event at Sutherland Nissan Orlando. Used car prices start at $89.88 and credit problems are no problem. Sutherland Nissan Orlando, OrlandoNissan.com. Home with a lifetime warranty.
VIN number 5Y104975 plus taxes and fees with approved credit.
Hey, it's that mortgage guy, Don. Good news if you're considering a reverse mortgage. Rates have improved again this week. Get a same-day quote at thatmortgageguydon.com.
With thatmortgageguydon.com.
How long have you been thinking about going solar? With power bills soaring higher and higher than ever, it's time to think about what you can save instead of what you're spending. Each year you wait, you could be losing thousands. This year alone, prices have jumped over 10%. Isn't it time you own your own power or solar source? With over 40 years in business, Solar Source has over 60,000 installations right here in Central Florida. They've had the same phone number since 1984. It's no wonder this company is the one I trust. I started with a pool heater solar, and now I'm thrilled that Solar Source has a pay-as-you-go system. I can save monthly, and it starts at $99. That's solarsource.com/monsters.
Wawa makes the right handcrafted beverages for the right time. And now, handcrafted beverages are just $3 or $4. Jump out of bed for a nice latte. Take a lunch break for a smoothie. Or celebrate with a late-night milkshake. Wawa makes the right beverages for the right time. Now at an even better price. Get smoothies, lattes, or any handcrafted 16-ounce or 24-ounce beverage for just $3 or $4. Gotta have a Wawa.
Honey, I'm going to Wawa for dinner.
Okay, but Ben wants pizza.
Yep.
And Nit wants a burger and fries.
Right.
Oh, and the twins? They won't touch anything except for mac and cheese.
Exactly. Wawa has something for everyone for dinner, so I only have to make one stop to make everyone happy. So, what do you want?
Well, if you're going to Wawa, I have to have a hoagie.
From burgers to hoagies and everything in between, Wawa has dinner for everyone.
Mommy, want to play a game with me and Dad?
Mommy's not feeling good.
You need to vaporize that cold.
Vaporize?
Yeah, with Dayquil VapoCool. It's Dayquil plus a rush of Vicks vapors.
Whoa.
Come on, honey. Let's let Mommy rest.
You guys are amazing. And so is Dayquil VapoCool.
Dayquil VapoCool, the vaporizing daytime coughing, aching, fever, power through your day medicine. And to vaporize sore throat pain, try Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Hey everybody, this is Josh and Chuck from the Stuff You Should Know podcast. And if you've ever wanted to know about champagne, Satanism, the Stonewall Uprising...
Oh, how about chaos theory, El Nino, LSD, little true crime sprinkled in? Or maybe something historical like Rosa Parks?
Yeah, if you want any of that or anything else you can think of, then look no further. We have you covered.
That's right. Listen to the Stuff You Should Know podcast on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Open your free iHeart app and search Stuff You Should Know and start listening.
We've all made questionable decisions in life, like that time that you frosted the tips of your hair. But hiring an attorney shouldn't be. I'm Orlando attorney Mo DeWitt, and we offer a 100% satisfaction guarantee on all injury cases. If you are not completely satisfied with the way we treat you in your case within the first 30 days, you can take your file back and you owe us nothing. No fees, no costs, and no questions asked. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. Visit justcallmo.com.
GMC Sierra trucks in stock now at orangebuickgmc.com. We are professional grade.
In today's Marketers Report, Kate Cronin, Chief Brand Officer of Moderna, weighs in on the speed of audio production.
In this day and age, and particularly at Moderna, where we have new information coming out on a regular basis, being able to feed that information to the audio format makes being nimble and pivoting easy, and that's what I really like about it.
As the #1 audio company, iHeartMedia gives marketers access to the audiences, influencers, insights, and data you need to grow. If you're a marketer, go to iHeartResults.com.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
Broadcasting live from the injury law firm of Kaufman and Lind Studios. Why Kaufman and Lind? Because you deserve better. Contact them at whenyouneedus.com or dial #546 on your cell phone. This is WTKS FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. Listen on your free iHeartRadio app for all your music, radio, and podcasts. On a constant quest to stay calm, like that bear in the hammock.
On the show, and you can send yours now. Go to thenewsjunkie.com to kick off your week and your Monday with the show. We'd love to hear from you. I want to get into this story about the worst way to handle relationships and something that I just can't get on board with. Courtney and I got into a fight this weekend, and I'll tell you about that. I'll tell you what it was about.
Is that step number one?
It's step number one to understanding this thing that couples are doing now that I just cannot get behind. I do not support, and I want to see how everybody else feels about this, because maybe you guys hear it and you go, I'm on board 1,000%. I love this idea, but I can't see how anybody would want to do this. I did completely forget that it was Monday, and our friend Amy Coffey was going to be joining us.
It's taking a second to get her on today.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah. We'll get over to her in just a moment. Get to some emails real quick. tips@thenewsjunkie.com. And Drew emails the show. Hey, News Junkie. I was listening to the show, and I heard you guys talk about the new true crime docuseries about the Menendez brothers. I study crime scene investigations in college, and I'm a true crime junkie on many serial killers and true crime stories. I have a problem with these new true crime docuseries because they go off theories and rumors rather than what actually happened. The Dahmer one was somehow stayed to the point, but the neighbor wasn't in the picture at all. This one takes the cake on how Hollywood made their story. They went off on theories and rumors, and since it's Ryan Murphy, you're always going to get gay undertones and unnecessary sex scenes just because, he says of Ryan Murphy.
Okay.
Also, the sexual assault was brought up during the trial, which threw the whole thing out of whack, this says. I do know, not sure, I do know, not sure which one of the brothers was going for this, but the other one was not because he didn't want to be seen as gay. That's why the brothers had talked to one another since they got tried. Anyways, love the show. Wiggle, wiggle, pop, pop says, it's Drew. Thank you, Drew. Appreciate your feedback. And Matt emails in Port St. Lucie. He says, hey, Sean, I sent you a tuna lawsuit over the weekend. Mailbox money.
Chicken of the sea.
Hope you checked it and you talk about it today. I didn't see this. Hang on, let me see. Tuna lawsuit is a class action that we can get in on. Unfortunately, I do not purchase much tuna. In fact, none. I'm not a tuna guy. But yeah, you're right. Okay, this is welcome to the Tuna End Purchaser Case website. The class action settlement is $152 million. And if you bought any canned or pouched tuna between 2011 and 2015, you could get some cash in this thing. I don't know how much. I don't know what kind of money you're going to be expecting out of this, but it looks pretty easy to do. You have until the end of the year, December 31st, if you bought any canned or pouched tuna between June 1st, 2011 and July 1st, 2015.
If you bought it for your cat.
It probably still counts if you bought this. It's all the big companies, StarKist, DWI, and Lion companies.
Oh.
They make many of these different types of products. So there you go. Go to tunaendpurchasersettlement.com. Tunaendpurchasersettlement.com. Mailbox money. Amy Coffey is joining us via phone, I believe.
Yes.
Is she with us? Hello, Amy. Are you there?
Hi, guys. Sabrina,
hey.
welcome back.
Oh, thank you so much. It's great to hear your voice.
Oh, I missed you. How was your trip?
It was absolutely fantastic. I got to tell you. I mean, Italy is such a beautiful place, and I did not see enough of it, but it was a great, great vacation.
Oh, I'm so glad. I'm so glad. You were missed.
Oh, I missed you guys too. Now back to reality, and it seems like it's hitting me in the face.
I don't know if you caught wind of this at all, but I pranked Amy Coffey while you were gone.
With what, Sean?
I told her that you had been fired, and
why would you do that to her?
Because she believed it in the moment.
Don't trust anything he says moving forward, Amy. Look at that.
And then afterwards, I felt so terribly bad.
As you should. Was it on the air or side text?
Yeah. On the air, real time. Because she's like, where's Sabrina at today? And I said, there's been some cutbacks. And
how dare you?
She says, this is the first I'm hearing of this. I'm so sorry. Oh,
well,
boy.
I am here for now.
I'm like, why didn't Sabrina call me?
Oh, I absolutely would have.
Call me.
I will be a field reporter in 2 seconds.
Yeah, you would have definitely got the heads up on that. So we got you by phone today. What's going on in your world, Amy Coffey?
Oh my gosh, you guys! We went to Tallahassee this weekend to. It was Parents Weekend, so we went up to Tally with the whole family. We had a blast. But can I tell you, this child has forgotten my age, and he dragged me around to. We went to 3 different fraternity parties. And it wasn't just me. It was like me, hubby, and the other 2 kids, too.
Mm-hmm.
And so you should have seen poor little Colton. He's 13. He's like, what in the hell is going on?
I can't wait to go to college.
It was crazy. And then, it was packed because it was Parents Weekend. So, of course, there's thousands of people there. So it's not like normal Tallahassee. It was like crazy, crazy Tallahassee.
Yeah.
So she's dragging us around to all these frat parties. So we went to 3. I went to 3 frat parties.
Wait, all right, Amy, walk
the
us,
frat party's different?
Walk us through these frat parties. Like, what's going down? Are they drinking? Are they partying?
Copious amounts of beer. Of course, not the good beer. It's all like the cheap stuff, right? Because that's what college kids do.
Mm-hmm.
But so we started. I'm trying to think. Okay, so the first one we went to was the Theta Chi house. That house was so crowded we couldn't even get in. So it was hilarious because they give you wristbands, which they're such a joke because there's no point in the wristbands. There's 6 million people in one space,
right?
So you can't even move. So we get there. That was a total mess. And so Kate's like, okay, we're not going to stay here. We're going to go to the Kappa Alpha house. So then we go to the Kappa Alpha house. She's like, I heard they have a band. It's going to be really fun. So we get there. again, it's like a mosh pit. There's so many people. The ground is like soaked with beer, right? So Kate's big thing was like, don't wear good shoes. Don't wear good shoes. Like, make sure you wear like, well, okay. So I'm like,
oh, you didn't bring your frat party shoes, Amy, when you packed up for
what is that, boat
parents' weekend?
I am telling you, this is a real thing that these kids have shoes that they wear only for going out. Like, they're trashiest shoes. This is the lace they leave. And so, because your feet are like either sticking to the floor or sinking into like beer puddles. So, then we went to that house and it was so crowded again, like can't even move. And then it's like, it was hot. So it was super hot, super sweaty. So then we spent like maybe a half hour at that house. I was like, hey, I'm going to pass out. Not from drinking, because it is so hot and like there's like no room to like move or breathe. And there's like, it's Florida, there's no breeze. So so we leave that party. She's like, okay, we're going to go to the Pike House. That one's not going to be as crazy. That one's going to be less crowded. So then we went to the Pike House. And meantime, poor Colton, he was just like, I am so done. I'm so over. When are we going to the football game? So we hung out there like maybe, I don't know. We didn't stay any place very long. And
any of like the frat activities though, did you and the hubby engage in? Because I remember going to parents' weekend at FSU because my little sister was going there. And so we went to visit. And then there was one frat house that had like a chair, like a barber's chair. In which my mom sat in, and then they did like 4 different bottles into her mouth, and then there was like a 17-foot beer funnel from the second floor, and then an ice luge, and I'm like, this is a lot for parents to be introduced to.
You know what this says to me? Honestly, this says to me that your daughter thinks you're kind of cool. Because if I was in this position, I would go, oh, Mom, Dad, they said parents aren't allowed to go to those parties. They said it's
have
forbidden.
to sit here and read books.
Yeah, we got to stay in the library the whole time. I would not want my parents near that. She thinks you're cool. That's what that's saying to me.
Oh, I don't know about that. I'm not nearly as cool as I once was. I can tell you that. I was like, oh my gosh, I cannot hang with these kids. They just go, go, go. They never stop.
It's a lot of energy.
And then it's crazy. So we go to the football game. We walked 7 miles on Saturday, by the way, 7 miles.
Wow.
We go to the football game. Football game was great. We get to like the end of the third quarter, almost fourth quarter, and Florida State is winning, but like barely, right? I mean, this is like they hung on to this game by like the skin of their teeth. Mm-hmm. And so then that's when, at that point, Kate and our other daughter, Caroline, who's a senior high school, were like, can we go? Can we go? We want to. I'm like, what? Are you kidding me? We paid a lot of money to get in here. We're going to watch this football game. And you guys are going to stay till the end, because if they win, it was going to be their first win of the season, which was a big deal,
Right.
And so so finally we leave and we hike all the way back to her apartment and drop off Kate. And she's like, okay, well, Caroline and I are going to go out now. I'm like, go out. Like, you're going to keep going?
Bye.
I feel like you could like peel me off the sidewalk at this point. I'm like, I'm done. We're going back to the room.
They're young. They're living life. They're doing it. I think that's a beautiful thing.
And I remember times like that, and I don't remember how I ever got that energy and how I could possibly do it. Like, if I go past 11 p.m., I'm like, Sabrina's on a party streak right here and has not napped.
Well, I wish Courtney could have gone. I can't believe what it says. I wish Courtney could have gone to that frat party, and here's why. Every time we watch a movie, Courtney goes, there's not really parties like this. And I go, you've never been to a rager? And she goes, no. She goes, these parties aren't real. And I said, yeah, I've been to parties like this. And Courtney goes, all the parties I've been to was a handful of people just sitting in different places in the room and awkwardly drinking a couple of beers. And she goes, big fun parties like this aren't really happening. And I go, no, they actually do. It could have been her first.
That means we're going to the next FSU trip with Amy K.
You guys are coming with me next year. But wait,
all right.
Sean, you need to let her read the P. Diddy affidavit stuff. Like that.
Oh, yeah.
It's a good night read.
God, yeah.
Freak off.
Compared to what was going on there.
I have that because I said to myself this weekend, I know about this story and I know what I've heard people say about the allegations and stuff, but I haven't read enough of the actual charging documents. So I got those and I want to go through what they said was happening at these parties a little bit later on in the show. But from what I did breezing over them earlier, this is a bad look, to say the very least. Like, there's a lot of stuff to unpack here, that's going on. So we shall see. And we have a lot of stories that are gearing us up for the election here. What's the final date? Did we get past the final date for registering to vote yet or no?
October 7th, I believe.
So I think voter registration at this point, I think that was the big day, the big push was like last Tuesday. I'm not sure when the window ends. So I think it's pretty quickly. So if you still have not registered, if you're like new to Florida, I'd have to double check on that, Sean. I don't know off the top of my head, but I do think that it's a short window. So anybody out there who hasn't yet and wants to vote, that's
October 7th.
You would want it. Okay, yeah. So, so you don't have a lot of time left. So just a couple of weeks. So
online, by mail, or in person, all those you could do by October 7th, just so everybody's up to that. What was your...
Not a lot of time.
Were you in today on Good Day Orlando?
Oh, yeah. So the big story this morning, of course, that we're talking about right now for all of your listeners here in Florida or anywhere in the Gulf Coast region, of course, we're talking about the potential for having a hurricane by the end of the week. So at this point, it looks like, everything is kind of pointing towards the Panhandle. But you guys know, because we've all lived here long enough to know that even a Panhandle storm will have an impact on us. So we're just telling people, just be, very aware of the forecast throughout the week. Make sure you're checking in either with us or whoever your weather source is to make sure that you know what's happening, that you have, made, preparations. Of course, I have a kid up in Tallahassee right now, so it's a little concerning. But it seems like, and I'm sure you guys would agree, that it seems like all of the storms lately all seem to be sort of taking this same kind of path. Within the last couple of years, Tallahassee's this would be like the third storm in basically a year and a half that they would have gotten up in that area. So for the Panhandle folks, I'm sure they're just getting tired. And then we've got another storm out in the Atlantic that also they're keeping an eye on.
I understand it being a little concerning having your kid at FSU, but at least you have an idea of what the hurricane party would look like. They bring their going out shoes, not the good shoes.
Hey, Amy, Keith Turner over on YouTube says, ask Amy Coffey if she knows she was on John Oliver last night. Did you know that?
John Oliver. No, I didn't. What is that?
Fun.
I don't even know what that is.
That's the late night show.
Last week tonight.
On HBO or Max now, right?
Yeah, they must have used some of your coverage. So I guess you were
send
on
the
John
clip
Oliver.
over.
See if I can find out what that was about. I can't afford HBO Max. That's above my...
I'll send you my login. I got you covered.
Do your kids think it's cool that mom is on TV? Are they, at this age, are they like, oh, my mom is, she's on television?
No, they're just... No, they don't think... They just are... Whatever. They're over it. They just are like, whatever. It's not a big deal. And they don't have any desire to, follow in mom's footsteps or, none of that stuff. They're like, oh, I want to be like you when I grow up. No, no desire.
Do they roll their eyes when people see you in public and recognize you?
They're usually pretty polite. That's because they know they'll get in trouble if they're not. So no, they're usually polite and they're patient, and that's good. But I do think that they kind of, they at this point too, they're all kind of older, so they're not really around me when I'm out and about as much as they are when when they were little, and you're kind of dragging them all over with you everywhere you go. So I'm sure back then it was probably maybe a little bit cooler for them, and now they're just whatever.
What do they want to do? Cool. If that's any of our business.
Let's see. So Kate is a political science major, and I think she said she's hinting at maybe wanting to go to law school. So we'll see if that happens. And then Caroline thinks maybe something, I don't know, she's been kind of tossing around the idea of physical therapy or something. I don't know what Colton's going to do. Right now he just wants to play video games and football. So
now we're talking.
We'll see.
I'm not trying to brag. I'm not trying to brag or anything, but Dylan's got his bachelorettes in vaping. He's
his bachelorettes in vaping.
his
bachelor's degree.
That's as close. That's as close as he's allowed to call it on account of the.
I haven't gotten a good Dylan update in a while. What is he up to?
Dylan is working at a vape store and doing very well, and he's growing and learning
his
things.
His clouds are massive.
He has mentioned recently, not that he said he wanted to do radio or anything, but he said, I might want to get into the voiceover industry. And I said, okay, all right, it's interesting.
Yeah. Did you show him your clip of you being a robot for that one show?
No, I can't let him down like that. Okay. No, he'll be really embarrassed. Anyhow, always a blast to talk to you. You are the best of the best, Amy.
I love you guys. It was fun. Hope you back. Glad she's still with us. Thanks for doing that to me, Sean. That was really mean.
Yeah, that was, don't ever do that again. But next time Sean's out on a Monday, guess what? Here's Sean as a voice actor. Dylan, if you're listening.
Durgeron, bring it over here now, as quickly as you can.
Super good.
I am a robo.
It's not bad.
Transformers
Not bad.
15.
There she goes. Amy Coffey from Fox 35.
Love you, Amy.
There you go. We'll see her next week. Amy Koffel's the best. Make sure you're following along each day on GDO. That's Good Day Orlando. If you're here locally, if you're anywhere else listening to the show, maybe you're in Rochester, West Palm Beach, you are in the Treasure Coast, you're somewhere else, listening to our beautiful voices on this fine Monday. It's a great way to start your day and keep up with anything that's happening in the world. Fox35Orlando.com. All right, I got to talk about this fight that Courtney and I got into this weekend. I'll tell you what we fought over, and then I'll stretch that into this new thing that couples are doing that I just can't get behind. I find this to be a repulsive idea, but some people are saying it's the best thing to happen to them. What is it? It's coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real Radio is on Threads at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Have you been in an accident? Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733. From the Clausman Law Traffic Center, car crash, call Clausman Law. ClausmanLaw.com.
The right lane is blocked on State Road 520 westbound, approaching the beach line there, and authorities are working on that accident on State Road 429 southbound near Western Way. The right shoulder is blocked there, and there's an earlier accident on International Speedway Boulevard before Williamson Boulevard, still causing a bit of delays there. If you see traffic troubles, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by Florida Power and Light.
Florida needs a power company that's storm ready. That's why FPL works year-round to keep the power on and restore it safely and as quickly as possible when needed. FPL, working for you every single day. Get ready at fpl.com/storm.
iHeartRadio brings you Global Citizen Festival 2024 from New York City at Central Park's Great Lawn. Live performances from Post Malone, Doja Cat, Jelly Roll, Benson Boone, and more. Join the movement to end extreme poverty now, one action at a time at globalcitizenfestival.com. Hear the entire festival live on the iHeartRadio app all day this Saturday, and the best of the best moments on the free iHeartRadio app's Hit Nation station, Saturday night at 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific.
Hey, it's that mortgage guy, Don. Good news. We offer HELOCs and home equity lines of credit with scores as low as 640. Find out if you're qualified today at thatmortgageguyDon.com.
ThatmortgageguyDon.com. Thinking about selling your home? Well, hold on to your packing tape. The Nickley Group can sell houses faster than you can find that one missing sock. Get a guaranteed cash offer on your home from the Nickley Group today. Visit thenickley.com.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-239-1749. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-239-1749. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-239-1749. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. Call 800-239-1749, 800-239-1749, or biglou.com.
This is trial attorney Jeff Kaufman from the injury law firm of Kaufman & Lind. When people ask me what I do for a living, I don't even blink. I'm an accident attorney. For those who've never been in an accident, that carries a negative connotation. For those who have, they understand. They need an attorney to fight a billion-dollar insurance company to make sure their bills are paid and that their future is protected. Very proud of what I do, and I take it very serious. If that works for you, you, contact me at whenyouneedus.com or dial 407-500-JEFF. That's 407-500-5333. Offices, Orlando.
Sunset Walk presents the Best of Challenge Taco Edition, Saturday, October 5th at the Promenade. Join me and the cast of The Jim Colbert Show as we host the Best of Challenge. 11 venues competing to be crowned the best taco of Sunset Walk. Participants include Yeoman's Top Golf Swing Suite, The Wharf, and Anthony's Coal Fire Pizza and Wings. VIP tasting tickets on sale now at sunsetwalk.com. Spectators and parking are free. Plus, DJ Scotty B, Society Band, and more. The Best of Challenge Taco Edition, Saturday, October 5th at Sunset Walk.
Columbus Day weekend, Saturday, October 12th through Monday, October 14th. Visit the Space Coast in Cocoa Beach and support the National Kiddie Foundation's 39th Annual Surf Fest, featuring hundreds of competitive surfers in pro and amateur divisions, live entertainment, and fun for the entire family. Spectators are free, so don't miss out on the fun in the sun at the Westgate Pier. Plus, join us for the Taste of Brevard and silent auction on Sunday, October 13th from 6 to 9 p.m. For more information, visit nkfsurf.com. That's nkfsurf.com.
Small business owners, we know finishing your to-do list can feel like rowing upstream. But it's a river, a whitewater river, and the only paddles you have are pool noodles. Then when a new to-do pops up, you're like, nope, I'm already rowing upstream with these pool noodle paddles. At Progressive, we don't want to make your day any harder. That's why we make it easy to get personalized discounts with a commercial auto insurance quote online. So your to-do list is smooth sailing. See if you can save on commercial auto insurance in as little as 7 minutes at ProgressiveCommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Coverages and discounts not available in all states and subject to policy terms and underwriting.
High diving face first into the world's most viral newsroom. This
Junkie.com/live or search for The News Junkie with an IE on the end on YouTube or Twitch where we are streaming.
I was just watching the clip from last week tonight, John Oliver's show on HBO.
Oh, with Amy K on it?
They did a super... Remember we talked about Moo Dang last week?
Oh, the little hippo.
The little slimy little baby hippo. Mm-hmm. And they did like a super cut of all the local news stations talking about the cute with a question mark baby slimy hippo. Mm-hmm. And the clip that they pulled of Amy and the girls on Good Day Extra wasn't really all that much to make fun of, but there was other ones where the guy goes, you know, hippos kill a lot of people.
That's funny. All right, let's get into this. I got clearance to talk about this ahead of time. I didn't want to just
when you teased it earlier, did you not have the clearance?
Technically, no,
okay.
But I got post facto clearance, and I talked to Courtney. I said, hey, can I tell about a fight that we got into this weekend? Now, when I say fight...
She said, which one?
I'm using this loosely. We do not fight very often, and we don't really fight at all. We get into a disagreement now and then. Not very often, but every once in a while, we'll get into like a little disagreement over something. And we had one of those this weekend. And it was whether or not this is how our fights go. Is the dumbest thing. We were fighting over whether or not a question was interesting. Because we were getting ready for something, and I said, hold on, I got to check something on my phone. I'm scrolling through something on my phone. I go, that's an interesting question. And after I told her what the question was, she said, that's a stupid question. And I go, you don't think that's an interesting question? I said, and I started to layer on some reasons why I thought it might be interesting. And then she shot back with the reason why she thought it's just absolutely not interesting. The question was from some young guy. All right. And this young guy online says, I'm 18. And when I look at women in the world, I'm attracted to women my age, obviously. I'm attracted to women who are in their 20s, maybe their 30s, he said. But when I look at women in their 50s or beyond, or more importantly, I think he said 70s, there's no attraction at all. He said, when I become 70, am I going to have the same things? Am I still going to be attracted to the same people I'm attracted to now? Or when I'm 70, will I be attracted to other 70-year-olds? And I said, that's kind of interesting how your taste, what you're attracted to, matures over time as you get older. And Cordy says, this is the dumbest question I've ever heard. I said, well, it's kind of interesting. I said, we're learning here that when you're younger, you're attracted to people who look more like you. As you get older, you remain attracted to people who are around your same age. This is all generally speaking. And she goes, nobody's parents would be together if people weren't attracted to people that were the same age as them.
Well, not a lot of people's parents are together.
And there's a couple that fall through by the time they get to 70 for sure. But she said, and then when 70-year-olds broke up with somebody, they would always just automatically get with the youngest possible mate that they could find. So we're going back and forth on this for a little while, and we go, okay, fine, let's move on. And then that's how a fight goes in this household mostly. I disagree, you disagree, fine. We move on with things. And then I saw this story afterwards, and for a moment my head goes, should we solve this crisis under our roof this way? And I said no.
Okay.
No, I cannot bring myself to do this.
So you're just going to leave it festering forever.
No, it's not festering at all. We are good. We don't have problems. We're good. So no festering, but you don't get all the resolution sometimes that you're looking for. People are taking to doing something new. Tell me if you can get behind this. Couples in the middle of a fight, like I just illustrated, or disagreement, argument, no. Couples are taking to feeding an agreed upon both sides of their argument into ChatGPT and allowing ChatGPT to decide like a therapist who is the correct person in the relationship.
Interesting.
And I thought to myself, well, maybe we could solve that. And then I said, no, I'm not letting this machine get in between the two of us in our relationship.
You know the machine's going to side with Courtney?
No, I don't think it would. I don't know what it would say, actually. I don't know what it would say, but I couldn't go.
She has her own large language model. She feeds it into Court GPT, and she's always right.
Right. Stamp it over and over again. I said, no way can I settle our argument with technology, with AI. That seems weird. It's weird enough to me that couples go in and talk to a stranger and then have the stranger settle the beef between the two of them. And I know that's super helpful for people, but I went to therapy many, many times when I was young with our family and different stuff we were going through. And I found that therapy is not for me. It's not the kind of therapy where you go in and you sit on a couch and you tell your problems and the therapist goes, but how do you really feel? Like, that is just absolutely positively not for me. It doesn't suit me. But I could not say, well, let's let the computer decide who is right either. I couldn't do this. But I want to see if people would be willing to outsource their arguments in their relationship to ChatGPT, or if you hate that idea. Go over to thenewsjunkie.com, send us a dispatch, and tell us what you think about ChatGPT therapy. Is that something that you would do? What about you guys? Would you ever?
Cheaper.
It's free. ChatGPT is just sitting there waiting to be asked this question. But number one, would you do it? Number two, would you respect the answer, even if it was against you, that ChatGPT served up to you?
To do it, you would have to agree to respect the answer. And so if you don't, like if I did this and we both, Ashley and I, said, all right, we're going to put this in ChatGPT and see which one of us is right, you have to agree to respect the answer. Mm-hmm. And if she doesn't, then why would I do it again?
But even if they say that they're going to agree to respect the answer, that doesn't mean you're going to respect the answer. Yeah. You're just saying that way afterwards, if the person gets mad, you can go, you agreed that you would abide by what ChatGPT says about our relationship spat, and then you put it behind us. Nobody's going to do that unless it sides with them. If you put the information in, ChatGPT goes, yes, Sean, you were right. It was an interesting question. Then you'd go, oh, look, see, this thing's a genius. It's a perfect
here's the
computer.
thing. How do you ask ChatGPT whether or not something is interesting? I mean, it's a computer. It's an AI.
Yeah. You have to ask ChatGPT whether it thinks you're right? Like to choose somebody who is more correct in this relationship spat. I refuse to do that. Instead, we just continue loving each other and move on with our lives and talk about the next thing, because we always have something to talk about. That's what's great about our relationship. We don't need ChatGPT to solidify things between the two of us. Somebody says, is it ChatGPT 4.0 or 5.0? I don't know. It doesn't matter. As long as you got one that's reasoning and trying to sort things out. Would you as a couple sit down and say, we can't fight over this. Let's settle this right now. Let's ask ChatGPT.
And give me the question one more time.
Okay. The young person said that they were attracted currently to people who are the same age as them. And they wondered when they became older, say 70 years old, if that would change and they would then be attracted to people who were 70, or if they would always remain attracted to the same kind of people that they are now. Oh, you're putting this into ChatGPT? Oh, I did not realize that was happening. Why am I just explaining this all to you as if you aren't on the radio show right alongside me? Okay.
Now, what do you think ChatGPT is going to say?
I don't know. I think ChatGPT might not try to take a side, but can you force it to take a side?
Well, it's using every bit of research or blog post, everything in between that is related to this, right?
It's going to use everything in its learning model, which includes much of the internet,
sorry, buddy,
to decide whether or not somebody is right in this back and forth. What are you smirking for?
I don't know if I should tell you the answer.
Oh.
Is it good news for me?
I don't know if I should tell you the answer.
What did you feed it? Just so we can see.
Okay, I said, is this question interesting? And then in quotes, I put, I am 18 years old and attracted to people my age. When I'm 70, will I still be attracted to people that are 70, or will I still be attracted to younger people?
Mm-hmm.
Basically the question. And I said, is this question interesting? And
because that's the root.
Yeah. And ChatGPT, I mean, it was a yes or no, but it gave reasons. Yes, that question is quite interesting.
Yes.
Because it touches on the complex intersection of psychology, biology, and social norms. It raises questions about how aging affects attraction, whether preferences are shaped more by socialization or biological factors, and how different people experience shifts in desire or romantic interest over time. There are multiple perspectives to consider, such as, and then 3 bullet points of factors and a small closing.
So it believes that it's an interesting question.
Now, where's the part that you didn't want to read to Sean?
Just
the whole thing.
The whole thing.
Oh.
It's not because I've now. It's not that I don't want Sean to be right. It's just that he has to go back. Courtney's listening to this right now. He has to go back
16
in there.
seconds. Want me to dump it?
No. Well, the problem is that's just asking if the question is interesting, not asking if a couple was talking about this, who's in the right. But I don't know. It's kind of similar. I would never outsource our relationship to computers, to AI, to ChatGPT. But I'm interested to see what you think about it. So let us know. Go to thenewsjunkie.com and send us a dispatch right now. When we come back, the next episode with Sabrina, what's coming up on the next episode?
Why don't you ask ChatGPT?
All right.
What's coming up on the next episode? 28 years later, the 28 Weeks Later sequel is set to be released next year. And it turns out all the director needed was 28 iPhone angles. Janet Jackson has issued an apology for the fake apology and expected to apologize for future non-apologies. He. Plus, Usher's Twitter/X history is gone, but a freak-off tape is up for sale, allegedly. All that and so much more coming up on the next episode.
And that is coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real Radio is the Jim Colbert Show.
Peace, love, unity, respect.
I would wear my knuckles down to a nub punching people in that place.
Oh, I thought it was just because you drag them.
The Jim Colbert Show, weekdays at 3 on Real Radio 104.1. From the Cool Today Weather Center, cooltoday.com.
Hi there, I'm Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist Brooks Garner with your Fox 35 Central Florida forecast. Well, to get things right out the gate, we've got a developing tropical system in the Caribbean that's expected to bring tropical storm conditions to parts of our region as soon as Thursday. Until then, for tomorrow and Tuesday, it'll be dry, rain-free conditions. Highs around are just above 90 degrees. And we'll see clouds increasing and showers developing on Wednesday. By Thursday, we could see periodic downpours and wind gusts over 45 miles per hour. From the Fox 35 Storm Team, I'm meteorologist Brooks Garner.
This report is sponsored by Discover. Time with family, laughs with friends, and cash back. Discover's got you covered on the last one. That's because Discover doubles all the cash back you've earned on your credit card at the end of your first year with Cash Back Match. See terms at discover.com/credit card.
Every morning brings new opportunities. That's why I love McDonald's new limited time breakfast deal. For just $5, I can mix and match 2 of my favorite breakfast sandwiches to make all new flavor combinations. Today, I'm starting my morning with a sausage McMuffin with egg and an Egg McMuffin for just $5. Tomorrow, I may mix it up with 2 Egg McMuffins. So, it's a new day, but the same great 2 for $5 deal. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Prices and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal. Single item at regular price.
What's better than air conditioning? A portable air conditioner you can take anywhere.
Enter McDonald's. Their drinks always cool me down, so I call them Air Cup-ditioners. Air Cup-ditioners come in all my favorites, like Classic Coke, Southern Style Sweet Tea, Frozen Fanta Blue Raspberry, and, of course, iced coffee. And they're incredibly cost-effective. Any size is just $1.59 all day.
Air drinks. And they're drinks from McDonald's.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Prices and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal. Coca-Cola and Fanta are registered trademarks of the Coca-Cola Company.
I never thought much about final expenses until my dad passed away last year. The costs were overwhelming, and it was a tough time for our family. That's when I decided to take control of my own final expense planning. But with my busy schedule, I needed something simple and quick. Then I found the Smart Bunny Insurance app. In just minutes, I secured a final expense insurance policy that fits my needs and budget. No lengthy paperwork, no hassle. Just peace of mind right at my fingertips. I'm relieved knowing my loved ones won't have to worry about the financial burden. If you're looking for an easy way to protect your family's future, I highly recommend the Smart Bunny Insurance app. It's fast, convenient, and the best part is you can get coverage up to $25,000 with policies starting as low as $14 per month. Download the Smart Bunny Insurance app today and take the first step towards your peace of mind.
Insurance sold by Smart Bunny Insurance Services, Inc. Underwritten by various insurers. Coverage exclusions and limitations may apply.
Mom, meet Sarah.
From first-time Nana moments.
Yeah, welcome to Flight 101.
To annual girls trip moments. Your can't-miss moments are worth protecting against RSV. If you're 75 or older or 60 plus with a chronic condition like asthma, COPD, heart disease, or severe diabetes, you're at higher risk of landing in the hospital from RSV. And there are no prescription RSV treatments. Check eligibility and schedule your RSV vaccine at vaxassist.com.
So where should we go next?
Sponsored by Pfizer.
I occasionally have nerve discomfort in my hands, so the things I love to do...
Let's play something, Grandma.
...became difficult as I got older.
If you have occasional stabbing and burning in your hands and feet, try Nervive Nerve Relief. Nervive's clinically studied dose of alpha-lipoic acid reduces occasional nerve discomfort in as little as 7 days with continued daily use. Say yes to healthy nerves with Nervive Nerve Relief. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. We recently received a call from an injured person. The insurance company had offered them $11,000. We took the case over and got more than $2 million in court. Morgan & Morgan.
Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Business owners, are your employees driving you nuts? Is money tight or is business at an all-time high? Well, maybe it's time for you to sell, retire, and just relax with a bunch of money in the bank. Hi, I'm Andy Cagnetta, and at Transworld Business Advisors, we've been selling businesses for 40 years. And with offices located throughout the world, we have thousands of buyers immigrating to the United States ready to buy your business. Don't wait until the last minute or try to do it yourself. That's a recipe for disaster. Call for a confidential conversation about your business's current value and how Transworld can maximize your eventual selling price. That's the winning formula. It has never been a better time to sell your business than right now. Call Transworld at 833-SELL-FLA or visit tworld.com. That's 833-SELL-FLA or visit tworld.com.
The free iHeartRadio app has over 100 commercial-free stations like the Beatles Now and Then.
And data for $30 a line when you buy 2. That's just $60 a month for 2 unlimited lines. So if you're 50 and up, make the switch and save. Come on, you've earned this. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com today. Requires 2 lines of service, age validation, and credit approval, subject to system and area limits, taxes, and other fees apply.
Three best friends diving into the deep end of internet culture. This
world of entertainment and beyond. And if you missed any of the show, go get the podcast. The links are up and ready for you always over at thenewsjunkie.com. Before we get into the next episode, a quick reminder, you can always email the show. And if you want to be anonymous, put that right up on top, tips@thenewsjunkie.com. All right, let's jump right in. Let's do the next episode.
Because there's a lot on TV, and you can't possibly keep up with all of it, even though you should, because what else are you going to talk about?
What? Nobody said nothing about no fiber line.
Nothing. Weather's nice. It's time for the next episode with Sabrina.
Hey, smoke weed every day.
Hold up. The next episode brought to you by That Mortgage Guy Don. ThatMortgageGuyDon.com. And, of course, the Home Loans Radio Show. Most importantly, you got direct access to the man himself. He has your best interest in mind. And when it comes to big life decisions like refinancing or buying your first dream home, perhaps expanding your business or starting your own business, everything in between, you got to work with someone you could trust. And that's That Mortgage Guy Don. Go to the website today and start the process. ThatMortgageGuyDon.com.
Don't miss the boat. Compare your quote with That Mortgage Guy Don.
It was 116 years ago, 1908.
Whoa.
Sean?
I was not alive.
But you must remember this. Fred Bonehead Merkle. He was a runner on first, and he infamously failed to touch second base after his teammates scored the game-winning run on his hit. His slip-up cost the Giants the pennant against the Cubs, and this became known as what?
Oh, my God. I have no idea.
Merkel's boner.
Oh, okay.
Didn't know we needed it this bad.
Yeah.
Sean, you've used this as a today, I learned.
Have I?
Yeah, Merkel's boner.
Yeah, I didn't remember half of those.
His nickname was Bonehead. And here we are. Just 21 years ago, 2003, Outkast released their double album, Speaker Box / The Love Below. Big Boy did Speaker Box, which had I Like the Way You Move. Andre 3000 did The Love Below, which featured the song.
1, 2, 3.
Oh, yeah. Did it have roses on it, too, or no?
That was Stankonia.
Was it?
Or,
good. Both good
was
albums.
That Stankonia Records? Was that the name of the album, too?
Yeah, there was a Stankonia album.
Okay. Yeah, but with Hey Ya and having their anniversary today, I also have some fun facts because BuzzFeed put it together.
All right.
Of all the things from the 90s are on this day. And I am ready to make you feel even older than we did earlier when those football players didn't know what a floppy disk or a VHS was. They say when it came to Hey Ya by Outkast, it's actually a sad song. Did you know
Really?
that? Yeah.
It doesn't seem sad. It seems kind of fun.
It's about how people stay in relationships when they're unhappy because it's better than being alone. Whew. That is sad. YouTube was meant to be a video dating site when it launched in 2005.
Mm-hmm.
Scottish actor DeGray Scott was originally cast as Wolverine in X-Men. When he had to back out, it was offered to Russell Crowe. He turned it down, so it was recommended to be Hugh Jackman. And
Damn.
Look where we're at now.
Roses was on Speaker Box and The Love Below. Stankonia had Bombs Over Baghdad, So Fresh and So Clean, Miss Jackson.
Oh, my bad.
And the best interlude, Kim and Cookie. Just a great skit.
All day, every day. Arrested Development and The OC almost did a crossover episode.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that would have been interesting.
Mark Ruffalo almost dropped out of 13 going on 30 because he had such a hard time doing rehearsals for the Thriller dance scene that he almost quit the entire thing. Fans thought Heath Ledger was a terrible choice to play the Joker in The Dark Knight. They thought Michael Keaton was an awful choice to play Batman in 1989, so it looks like everyone was wrong AF. In 2006, A History of Violence became the last major Hollywood movie to be released on VHS. Full circle.
Don't even know that movie.
Either do I, but I guess it's violent. or something. Amy Winehouse was tapped to sing the theme song for the 2008 James Bond flick Quantum of Solace.
Yep.
But she was kind of a wreck at that point, so that was Jack White, who was brought in last minute. Queer Eye for the Straight Guy was born when the creator saw a wife berate her husband for not being as well dressed as 3 nearby gay men. And the 90s fact to wrap it all up and make it feel super old was, even though it was a major Hollywood film about fashion, The Devil Wears Prada only had a $100,000 wardrobe budget.
Oh, okay.
So there you have it, my friends. Still kind of a tap into old school. I don't know if it goes all the way to the 90s, but long enough for this guy right here.
Usher.
Usher is right, and his Twitter account got completely wiped clean over the weekend. And people wondered if it had anything to do with his longtime buddy, Diddy.
Oh, he wasn't the only one, I think. There was somebody else that they said deleted a bunch of tweets.
Well, he claimed that he was hacked, though.
Right now, there is so much, and I don't know if I've ever seen a wave this big, so much fake news related to the Diddy stuff.
Yeah.
There's like so many stories that you see.
Are you saying that this is fake? Because he did get his X account completely wiped.
He tweeted afterwards that he had been hacked, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know. So
but it has been wiped.
All the tweets were back up when I looked at it yesterday.
Oh, dang.
His
nice
full tweet history was back. I mean, I don't know. I didn't go see if he deleted any. I saw that story on a Facebook post, and then I went to his account, and I saw that his tweets are there. And I've been doing that because all these Diddy-related stories, like there was one that, tell me this is true, one of the Diddy freak off videos. Oh, I'm sorry. I'll say that.
That's okay. Let's do it, though. Diddy allegedly, and this is what Sean is about to say is a fake story, but still making headlines, allegedly sold a freak-off party tape for, Sealand, if you didn't see it, guess how much?
Ooh, let's see.
There's numerous accusations.
$2 million? I mean, who's paying that much for a freak-off tape?
Well, now, I guess a lot more than that. I'll give you a second guess, since Sean already saw the story.
$20 million.
$500 million.
No, there's no way. There's no shot that somebody has purchased a video that they're not going to be able to make money off of.
Have you searched the dark web yet, Sean?
I just don't believe it. I think there's so many of these Diddy-related stories that people are running wild with. Courtney this weekend goes, "Did you hear this Justin Bieber song?" And I said, "No, what song is it?" And she goes,
"It's off the new album."
He said, all I wanted to do was get a Ferrari, and now Diddy's got me in this trouble. These people's lives are going to be ruined.
That's in the song?
Being prostitutes, and I can't believe I surrounded myself with Diddy. I'm so disappointed in myself. And I go, that sounds too on the nose.
Right.
I feel like we would have known.
It's weird that Justin Bieber had a song which had a verse that detailed everything in this indictment.
I just want to see how it all rhymes. So this is all according, and this rumor started by singer and songwriter Jaguar Wright, who claims Diddy sold the freak-off party tape for $500 million on the dark web. Not only that, he's claiming numerous celebrities were in the alleged video, including Bieber, Chris Brown, Rihanna, Nicki Minaj, and Drake. Mm-hmm. So, no, he's selling it because he needs the cash. The last freak-off tape that got sold on the dark net, I know because I monitor, went for $500 million. It was a really interesting night in Calabasas, and he just sold that footage.
Do you think Diddy can get on the dark web?
No.
Is that darkweb.com?
Hey, Diddy, show me something on the dark web. Anything.
No.
Not one bit.
I don't think so.
I can't dive into the Janet stuff right now. I don't have enough time, unfortunately. So I don't know if
just say we'll talk about it later. Yeah, I think I got it somewhere.
Because it's very confusing, and within 72 hours, there were about 15 different stories and 75 people involved. But,
yeah, you know what's interesting though? The Janet Jackson thing made me go down a rabbit hole, and I guess her and her brother, one of her brothers,
Michael.
No, not Michael Jackson. Obviously,
Tito.
he's dead.
Tito also dead.
I don't know if it was. I don't know who it was. Well, her and one of her living brothers.
Jackson.
They're very much into conspiracy theories.
Oh.
They went down a lot of rabbit holes themselves. And
interesting podcast.
We'll touch on that maybe a little bit later.
And
on
you can hear it on
show.
your iHeartRadio app, just or wherever you get your podcast.
I will full circle it though. One of Janet's dead brothers, the most famous one, Michael Jackson.
Michael Jackson.
And for this music video, Thriller, it has now surpassed 1 billion views.
Damn.
At least according to reports. 13-minute clip aired on MTV December of 1983, and now it can be for you on YouTube.
Only now? Didn't Gangnam Style do that? Like in
long time
handful
ago.
of months?
And now that we've got Halloween coming up, they've made it into the billion views club. Congratulations, Thriller people. On the boob tube, we have Monday Night Football, the Bills and the Jaguars, also the Bengals and the Commanders, 26th season premiere of The Voice on NBC, The Price is Right at night on CBS, series premiere of Brilliant Minds on NBC, and you can catch Mike Tyson and Halle Berry on Kimmel. Follow your dreams. I'm me on Instagram. Just posted a new video. Give it a peep. And stay with me, America.
Smoke weed every day.
Thank you, Sabrina. Unfortunately, Wheel of Fortune is no longer going to be on television because word got back, and Ryan Seacrest's coworkers did not support him in tuning into his broadcast. They're just not enough. They needed us to do it. We didn't do it, and now he's over. He's done.
I got to because, Nick and I have only been dating for about a year. Then I'd be like, hey, check this out from my boss.
Got to check this out.
Got to support my coworker, Ryan Seacrest.
He needs it. He's just a struggling upstart. He can barely make it there. They're like, okay. No, he's doing fine, I think. He's doing A-okay. When we come back, C-Lane took the Chat GPT therapy a little further.
I have more insight.
Oh, good.
From Courtney has also fired back. She's returning fire
on Courtney's
here.
side.
She's on a run, and as she's running, she's firing back messages. So we'll open that can of worms and see where it goes. That plus a 15-year-old arrested by Chitwood and pals. But is this a little bit different? Should we handle this a little differently? I'll tell you why. That is coming up next on the News Junkie.
Are you registered to vote in the November 5th general election? Not to be a nag. But go to realradio.fm/vote 2024 for resources and make your voice heard.
From the Goldsmith Jewelry Shop Traffic Center. Shop the best quality jewelry and lowest price. GoldsmithJewelry.com.
Traffic is slowing down on I-4 approaching State Road 429, and there's slowdowns through the city on I-4 between Princeton Street and Robinson Street. There's a couple accidents to keep an eye out for here on Colonial Drive westbound at Avalon Park Boulevard. The left lane is blocked there, and the right shoulder is blocked on State Road 429 southbound near Western Way. If you see traffic troubles, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by Wawa. Wawa handcrafted beverages are just $3 or $4. From iced lattes to smoothies to a late-night milkshake. Get any handcrafted 16 or 24-ounce beverage for just $3 or $4. Gotta have a Wawa.
Sponsored by the Nickley Group with Keller Williams Realty. Get a guaranteed cash offer on your home at thenickley.com.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential. But finding those people can be a major hassle, unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. With ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, sends you a list of great matches to review, then actively invites them to apply for your job. And the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
We've all made questionable decisions in life, like that time that you frosted the tips of your hair. But hiring an attorney shouldn't be. I'm Orlando attorney Mo DeWitt, and we offer a 100% satisfaction guarantee on all injury cases. If you are not completely satisfied with the way we treat you in your case within the first 30 days, you can take your file back and you owe us nothing. No fees, no costs, and no questions asked. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. Visit justcallmo.com.
Do you need your contractor's license? In 4 short weekends with Camtech School of Construction, you'll be able to ace the state exam. Get legal, get licensed, get Camtech. Join us for a free info seminar this Thursday night at 7 p.m. at the Holiday Inn Universal. 1-800-875-PASS.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 40-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term life insurance may only cost you about $100 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-239-1749. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-239-1749. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-239-1749. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. For affordable term life insurance, call 800-239-1749. 800-239-1749 or biglou.com.
Wawa makes the right handcrafted beverages for the right time. And now, handcrafted beverages are just $3 or $4. Jump out of bed for an iced latte. Take a lunch break for a smoothie. Or celebrate with a late-night milkshake. Wawa makes the right beverages for the right time. Now at an even better price. Get smoothies, lattes, or any handcrafted 16-ounce or 24-ounce beverage for just $3 or $4. Gotta have a Wawa.
Honey, I'm going to Wawa for dinner.
Okay, but Ben wants pizza.
Yup.
And Nick wants a burger and fries.
Right.
Oh, and the twins, they won't touch anything except for mac and cheese.
Exactly. Wawa has something for everyone for dinner, so I only have to make one stop to make everyone happy. So, what do you want?
Well, if you're going to Wawa, I have to have a hoagie.
From burgers to hoagies and everything in between, Wawa has dinner for everyone.
This is trial attorney Jeff Kaufman from the injury law firm of Kaufman & Lind. I bought a pair of Jordan 5s off eBay. They went through the authentication process. When they got here, something was wrong with them. I put them on and they immediately self-destructed. I contacted eBay. They said they weren't responsible. I filed multiple emails, photos, complaints. I didn't stop till I won. That's what I did for a pair of tennis shoes. Imagine what I would do for you. Contact me at whenyouneedus.com or dial 407-500-JEFF. That's 407-500-5333, offices Orlando.
If you ask anyone who's experienced LASIK, they will tell you it's the best thing they've ever done. And more often than not, they'll add, I should have done it sooner. So what are you waiting for? The Filatowski Eye Institute is offering free LASIK consultations. Just text 1041 to 868686 and start your journey to better vision with the Filatowski Eye Institute. They've performed over 65,000 LASIK procedures using the latest state-of-the-art technology. If finances are concerned, they offer 24-month interest-free financing. Text 1041 to 868686 to schedule your free LASIK consultation at the Filatowski Eye Institute. Mills Air in business since 1992. That's over 30 years here in Central Florida. They're not going anywhere. Carrier factory authorized dealer. You can always turn to the experts at Carrier. Equipment change-outs and upgrades right now with up to $1,275 in rebates. Visit millsair.com.
Mom, meet Sarah.
From first-time Nana moments.
Yeah, welcome to Flight 101.
To annual girls trip moments. Your can't-miss moments are worth protecting against RSV. If you're 75 or older or 60 plus with a chronic condition like asthma, COPD, heart disease, or severe diabetes, you're at higher risk of landing in the hospital from RSV. And there are no prescription RSV treatments. Check eligibility and schedule your RSV vaccine at vaxassist.com.
So where should we go next?
Sponsored by Pfizer.
Ever wonder what a drink tastes like on Mars? Find out at Kennedy Space Center Visitor Complex. On the evening of October 4th, they're hosting the 4th annual Mars Teeny Shake-Off. Local bars and restaurants compete to make out-of-this-world drinks, and you get to help judge the winner. Enjoy special menus, mingle with astronauts, and explore exhibits that showcase the future of space travel. Visit KennedySpaceCenter.com for more details about this special ticketed event. Kennedy Space Center Visitor Complex. Discover something real.
Trajan Wealth, your trusted local fiduciary advisor. Visit TrajanWealth.com.
Broadcasting live from the injury law firm of Kaufman & Lind Studios. Why Kaufman & Lind? Because clients and character matter. Contact them at whenyouneedus.com or dial pound 546 on your cell phone. This is WTKS-FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. Listen on your free iHeartRadio app for all your music, radio, and podcasts. Send him your tips and your deepest, darkest secrets. Email tips at
Therapy. We'll tell you what's going on now in just a moment. And then we'll get to some of your dispatches, which you can use to join us on the show with your opinions. Go to thenewsjunkie.com and send us a dispatch right now. If you missed what we were talking about, I'll give it to you in a nutshell here. I said that Courtney and I had gotten into a fight, I use air quotes around that, over the weekend. And it was about a silly thing. And I'd use this fight to show you something that has been happening out there with a lot of other couples. The fight was, I said, hey, this is an interesting question. Somebody asked, right now, I am young. I'm an 18-year-old man, and I'm attracted to women who are my age or maybe in their 20s. But when I look at a 70-year-old woman, I'm not attracted to that person in the slightest. When I become a 70-year-old man, will my preferences change along with age? And will I then think that these 70-year-old women are hot? Or will I always like what I'm liking now? And he wanted to ask people for this advice. I said, that's an interesting question. It's interesting that you can evolve over time with the things that you're into. And I think what's at play there is when we look at somebody, we have our first impression. You look at some young, hot person and you go, wow, they're attractive. But when you look at somebody as you get a little older, you might be able to say that person is attractive, but they might not be a prospective mate for you because you'll go, that person's in their 20s. I have nothing in common with them. I'm in my 70s. We're not suitable for each other. I have grandkids older than this person.
I would have sex with them.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like as you get older, you have to consider, is this somebody that I could
live
be with?
Yes, experience life with. Would I enjoy conversations with them? And you said probably not. And honestly, the conversation that led into this, or that I guess was proceeded afterwards, got real uncomfortable because I said, you know, it's interesting. Again, here's me saying things that are interesting and that she says they're not interesting. I said, you are now the same age or older as I was when we started dating. I said, you are now, because she's 10 years younger than me. We've been together for 10 years. I said, you're now the same age as I was when we started dating.
That's weird.
And she goes, oh, yeah. And, you know, I'm kind of in the middle of you and Dylan. I said, and I started thinking about that. And she said, yeah, I was 24 when we started dating, which is basically the age that Dylan is now. And so the numbers start to get real uncomfortable when you pry them apart too much. So anyhow, we get into this conversation. She says, that's not an interesting question at all. Look at the people who are old and still together. Obviously, they're attracted to people who are in their age bracket. That's just an obvious question to answer. And then C-Lane said, I was talking about how there's a thing couples are doing now. They're resolving their disputes with ChatGPT, which I hate. I hate this idea. You're in the middle of a fight and you're like, you're wrong. No, you're wrong. You're screaming at each other. And then you go, all right, fine. We're taking this dispute to ChatGPT. It's going to be our therapist. We'll put it in. And as C-Lane said earlier, we will abide by the results of ChatGPT weighing in on this. So C-Lane took the fight with Courtney, fed it into ChatGPT, and ChatGPT said, it is an interesting question. Courtney said, ask it if it thinks farts are interesting too, and she started
well, what did they say?
She said, I just think unless you're severely emotionally shallow, what you're looking for in a partner will change as you age. And I agree with her. But so C-Line feeds it in. ChatGPT says the question is interesting, but then it went further. What else did ChatGPT say?
Also, I went a little further and I asked ChatGPT after it said, yes, the question is quite interesting. And it says, here's your three big reasons why: psychological factors, biological factors, cultural and societal influences. And it says how attraction shifts over a lifetime can vary from person to person. I said, well, what if a couple was arguing over whether that question was interesting? Is one of them correct?
Uh-oh.
No, neither of them is definitely correct because whether a question is interesting is subjective. It depends on personal perspective, interest, and how one defines interesting. One person might find the question fascinating because it explores deep topics like psychology, aging, and human attraction. Another might not be interested in such discussions, considering them speculative or irrelevant. In arguments like this, here we go, here's your answer, guys.
Interesting.
In arguments like this, both opinions are valid.
Oh.
Now it sounds like a real therapist, because this is what a real therapist would do.
Exactly, and you don't have to spend thousands of dollars.
Yeah,
I know, it's free.
What matters more is understanding why each person feels the way they do. It can lead to a better conversation about preferences, values, and interests, rather than trying to prove who's right.
Okay.
My God.
I mean, I gotta say, it is interesting if you're finding yourself in fights, also used in quotes like this, and you could both get this like completely unbiased, non-human perspective of it, then that could put some stuff to rest. Now,
you think so?
Sure. I mean, the way that C-Lane just laid it out, I'm like, okay. In the heat of it all, if I read that, I'm like, all right, so we're agreeing to disagree, but in a way that someone else is telling us that.
Okay, let's put you in this. You and your girlfriend are
We always
in an
agree on
argument.
everything. That's why we're dating.
Something pops up, you disagree, and you get into a fight over something. You put it into ChatGPT, and it says that your girlfriend is right. How are you going to take in that information?
Get out!
Take the computer with you. ChatGPT out of here.
I don't know. I guess like, you know, we're still fairly new compared to a 10-year relationship like you guys are. So I would be curious to see.
Just a couple of kids.
Yeah, and so right now, like the things that we've had tiffs over are nothing compared to, I think what could happen, or perhaps we're at the age where both of us have dealt with enough crap.
Probably.
That we don't have petty, intense fights over nothing. Now, I will tell you, Sean, if you find yourself in this situation again, you will not be going to ChatGPT, but I did see something that was brought to you by two humans who say that when they get in really bad fights or like it's going nowhere, that they have a stack of party hats and they both put them on their head, and it's like, we can't fight like this anymore because we both look ridiculous, and they end up...
I could still fight in the party hat. Yeah,
I could see Sean still being an absolute dick in a party hat.
Wait, didn't we get into
laughing in your face?
Didn't we fight on Halloween one time? Weren't we in costumes fighting one time?
You and I
swear, yeah, I swear that happened on this show.
No, I got in a fight with my ex dressed as Paula Deen.
Wait, she was or you were?
I was dressed as Paula Deen. She was a stick of butter and also a stick of bitch, and that was that fight. So, whatever.
I remember that. I remember that. But I just
Downtown Orlando got a real treat where I was like, just get out of here, ma'am.
I can't imagine myself in the middle of a fight going, all right, let's go over to the computer, typing stuff in, and then whatever ChatGPT says as a couple, you go, oh, you won this one, honey. Let's get out of here.
Yeah, but if you can put it to rest by that day versus like, all right, honey, let's go over to the computer and schedule our therapy appointment for next Tuesday at 3:30 p.m.
Well, the beauty is, as you've said, it's free. And the free is pretty attractive. The free part of that is pretty attractive. And you would think that it's unbiased. I don't know if anything can really be unbiased. But some of you might think this is insane and this is stupid and yada, yada, yada.
I do have one last bit of wisdom from ChatGPT just to wrap this whole thing in a bow.
Okay, tell us that, and then I want to tell you why this is an actual real deal thing that is going to start happening. So go ahead.
Okay, so last but not least in ChatGPT, farts can definitely be interesting. Depending on the perspective from a scientific, cultural, or even comedic point of view, there's a lot of fascinating aspects to consider. Biology. They're the results of gas produced by bacteria breaking down food in the digestive system, and studying them can reveal insights into gut health and digestion. Social context. Farts have different meanings in various cultures. What might be seen as humorous in one context could be embarrassing or offensive in the other. And humor. They've been a source of humor for centuries. People often find them funny due to their unexpectedness or the taboo around bodily functions.
Perfect.
So, yes, farts are interesting.
Can you ask ChatGPT to give you an example of an uninteresting question and see if it'll generate something? Or is it going to go, it's subjective and all questions? I wonder if it'll just take a stance on it.
Be an example
of an uninteresting.
Uninteresting question.
Yeah, I think it's going to break the system because I think they're going to go, no, anything could be interesting. Yeah. They're going to take both sides.
To the most boring.
An example of an uninteresting question might be, what color is the sky on a clear day?
Oh.
For most people, this question is uninteresting because the answer is obvious, blue. It doesn't provoke much thought or debate. It lacks complexity, intrigue, or the potential to spark a deeper conversation.
Nonsense. I would argue the sky is not actually blue. It's reflecting blue or reflecting all colors except for blue. And then you get deep on that. What color is anything?
Yeah, but you're colorblind.
However, even this could be interesting in specific contexts, like a scientific discussion on why the sky appears blue. So while this question might seem uninteresting at first glance, context can change that.
Damn it, I hate you, ChatGPT. Well, here's what I'm talking about, why I say this is real world. This is going to be something that impacts your life. A story from Gizmodo says, Google's AI is going to help decide whether unemployed workers get benefits. The state is working with Google on a first-of-its-kind generative AI system that will analyze transcripts from appeals hearings and issue a recommendation and a decision in an effort to clear a stubborn backlog of claims. So basically, there's a bunch of people who are trying to get their benefits for unemployment, and they're backlogging the system. And in Nevada, they've decided we're going to use AI to solve these problems. People will come in, they'll have their say, we'll take all the transcripts, and we'll feed them into the machine. And this machine, this AI, will decide whether you get your employment benefits or whether it denies you. And that means that it's going to have to deny you sometimes.
Huh.
And this is a way for Nevada officials to be like, hey, you can't blame us. It's not our fault. We're not the ones to blame for this.
Robot.
The robot has decided. This is a real world example of this starting to impact our lives. I don't think what we've outlined here with AI deciding who is right or wrong in a relationship and ChatGPT being a therapist is really that out there. I think this is forcing its way, like it or not, into our lives more and more every single day that goes by. What do you think? Let's see. Let's get to your dispatches. Sharkbait is joining us here on the show. Here we go.
Hey there, junkies. Hey. So on the topic of like when you're getting older, if you're attracted to people your age or whatnot, I can tell you by me being recently single, I definitely don't look at men younger than me and think they're attractive. I've definitely been catching myself noticing people, men in their like 30s and 40s. I'm in my early 30s, but yeah, I think that does change over time. I think you just become more mature and realize what is better for you and your age group. So, all right, cool. Bye.
I guess you could also argue a great example of this is the newly launched Golden Bachelorette, where you see these people.
I did watch the first episode.
They're all like in the same kind of age bracket. I thought
that one very old man.
Did you see the Asian dude?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought he was so cute. He's not going to make it, but it was so cute.
Well, he's not. He had a buddy too, and at first I thought you got those people confused because the buddy started looking at everything and being so impressed with it first, and then the Asian guy took on that persona as well, and then they started cooking together. I'm like, did Le Creuset put a huge ad buy for some product placement for their damn what is it, the thing that Ashley made me get that was so expensive, the Dutch oven?
Oh, really? I don't know. They started doing something different than dating. They started to become buddies, and it was so funny to watch. The Asian guy's amazed by the size of the refrigerator.
Charles.
He's the best. He was so cute. So, yeah, I guess that shows you that people are kind of into people who are within some range of them, generally speaking. And as a society, when we see that bond broken, when we see that arrangement broken, we tend to look down on it. If we see an 80-year-old man, he's in a wheelchair, and he's dating a 20-year-old, we tend to, as a society, make many judgments on that. And we tend to look down on it.
Well, because what's the assumption? The assumption is that there's a gold digger in place.
Yep. Yeah, a woman is there for the money. The guy probably doesn't care that she's there for the money, just wants some young woman to look at and be with, and it seems like a fake relationship. That's what we take from these things, generally speaking. Here is Mommy Salami talking about merch.
Please release your shirt designs on long sleeve tees. Some of us live in colder climates. I never wear short sleeves. Thanks.
As requested, as delivered, Mommy Salami. We'll do a shirt version and a long sleeve shirt version of the next design that drops.
Why are you
because
lying?
No, we'll do it. We're going to do that because this is perfect timing. We're right in fall. We'll put out the next design drop, a shirt, and not a hoodie this time, but a long sleeve shirt as well. So we'll have that option for you if you're interested. Here is Hiker Mom talking about tattoo removal.
Hey, junkies.
Hey.
Hiker Mom here. So I have been getting tattoo removal on a tattoo I got on my ring finger. Side mark, don't ever do that.
Well, I can imagine what that is.
Ever. And, yeah, I hate to tell you this, Sean. You think it's bad now? Wait till, like, the, I would say the 6th or 7th one, because right now you're on level 1. They crank that sucker all the way
Don't
up.
tell him that.
I think I'm on 10 now because your extremities take longer for the ink to leave. So mine's only halfway faded, and it's been about a year and a half.
Oh.
So, and every time I go, I seriously feel like a blowtorch is on my finger. It just hurts so effing bad. And they go, guess what? Next time it's going to be worse. And they happily send you on your way. So, yeah. Getting tattoos removed sucked. Plus, it was $1,000 to get that sucker removed. And, yeah, ring finger tattoo. Cost $100 to put on, $1,000 to get off. Don't do it. Wiggle, wiggle, papa.
Thank you, Hiker Mom. Appreciate the info.
If it's the ring finger tattoo I'm thinking of, it might have cost her even more.
You know this person?
No.
You aware? Okay.
No, I'm saying
divorce.
if it's like a person who has their
that's what
wedding
she's
ring
getting
tattoo.
at.
Yeah.
That's exactly what she's getting at. When they start the process, when you're about to get the tattoo removal done, they go, we're going to hit you with some cold air. And they hit you with this gun that shoots out air that must be close to 0 degrees. It's freezing cold air, and that's supposed to make it feel better.
It's so intense.
Yeah, the
It's
laser is so
very,
hot.
very similar. I wouldn't be surprised if it felt the same as laser hair removal.
Oh, probably. I'm sure it's the same kind of technology that they're using.
It's not fun.
No, it's not. Not a good time. And they zap the hell out of you. But hey, maybe it'll be worth it in the end. We'll see how the journey goes. Do we have time for one more? No, we got to take a quick break. When we come back, I want to talk about this 15-year-old that got arrested. Maybe we'll put that in jury duty in a bit. And we'll talk about a cat on a very long journey. Yeah. But why would this happen? Why does this keep occurring in stories? The tale of a cat on a mission. That is coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real radio is
The Monsters in the Morning.
I'm way out of your weight class, A, and I have too much knowledge.
That's the first time that's ever been said.
Maybe it is.
The Monsters in the Morning.
Real Radio 104.1.
From the Clausman Law Traffic Center, car crash, call Clausman Law. ClausmanLaw.com.
There's a bit of commotion on the roadways this afternoon. A couple of accidents to keep an eye out for here. The off-ramp from I-4 eastbound to Amelia Street, that is partially blocked. The right lane is blocked on I-4 westbound approaching Osceola Polk Line Road. Travel with caution through there. And there's an earlier accident on Colonial Drive westbound near Avalon Park Boulevard, causing a bit of commotion. If you see traffic troubles, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by Pfizer.
I got my together.
I got my together.
You can get your shots together, too. Ask your healthcare provider about getting this season's COVID-19 shot when getting your flu shot if you're due for both, as recommended by the CDC. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Connection, opportunity, possibility. It's what we all want. Spectrum has built a world where anything is possible, with products and services designed to work better together for a seamless connectivity experience. A connection to family and friends, a connection to education, and a connection to new opportunities. So there's no limit to how big we can dream. That's Life Unlimited. That's Spectrum.
I never thought much about final expenses until my dad passed away last year. That's when I decided to take control of my own final expense planning. Then I found the Smart Money Insurance app. I secured a final expense insurance policy that fits my needs and budget. You can get coverage up to $25,000 with policies starting as low as $14 per month. Download the Smart Money Insurance app today and take the first step towards your peace of mind.
Insurance sold by Smart Money Insurance Services, Inc. Underwritten by various insurers. Coverage exclusions and limitations may apply.
Hey, it's that mortgage guy, Don. Good news, commercial and SBA loan rates are falling too. Get a quote to refinance your business loan today at thatmortgageguyDon.com.
We've all made questionable decisions in life, like that time that you frosted the tips of your hair. But hiring an attorney shouldn't be. I'm Orlando attorney Mo DeWitt, and we offer a 100% satisfaction guarantee on all injury cases. If you are not completely satisfied with the way we treat you in your case within the first 30 days, you can take your file back and you owe us nothing. No fees, no costs, and no questions asked. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. Visit justcallmo.com.
Sunnyside Air Conditioning.
Oh, hi. My air conditioner is blowing hot.
For air conditioners making a funny noise, press 1.
No, it's...
Try to listen to the whole message before making a selection.
Sorry.
For air conditioners blowing cold, but not quite cold enough, press 2.
No, it's blowing hot.
I haven't gotten to that one yet.
Well, can we speed this up?
Don't get grumpy with me, or I'll take you back to the main menu.
No, anything but that. Please don't send me back to the main menu.
Fine, but I'm watching you.
Bet if I'd called Frank Gay, I'd already be getting my problem solved.
But you didn't call Frank Gay. So, what do we do now?
I'm calling Frank Gay.
When your air conditioner is blowing hot, you need a solution now. A helpful operator to guide you, all your options explained, and your problem fixed fast. That's the Frank Gay way.
If you're ready to pull your hair out, press 7.
Ah!
That's the Frank Gay way.
FrankGayServices.com.
Sweet chocolate reward. Sweet chocolate reward.
This is not just the sound of someone picking up a sweet treat at Walgreens. This is the sound of someone picking up a sweet treat right after receiving all their vaccines in one trip. This is the sound of treating yourself, because you protected yourself.
Stop by or schedule both your flu and COVID-19 vaccines today and grab yourself a sweet treat while you're at it. Vaccine subject to availability. State, age, and health-related restrictions may apply.
This earful of Real Radio is brought to you by crimeline.org. Give a tip anonymously.
I'm Carrie Champion, and this is Season 4 of Naked Sports. Up first, I explore the making of a rivalry. Caitlin Clark versus Angel Reese.
Every great player needs a foil.
People are talking about women's basketball just because of one single game. I just come here to play basketball every single day.
Clark and Reese have changed the way we consume women's sports. Listen to The Making of a Rivalry, Caitlin Clark versus Angel Reese on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Open your free iHeart app and search The Making of a Rivalry, Caitlin Clark versus Angel Reese, and start listening.
Trajan Wealth, your trusted local fiduciary advisor. Visit TrajanWealth.com.
Send him your tips and your deepest, darkest secrets. Email tips at the...
Welcome on the show. If you're screaming at your radio and you hear me talking, just scream into a dispatch. It's just as easy. And maybe your point is great. Maybe you knock me down a peg. Do it over at thenewsjunkie.com.
Don't curse in it, please, though, if you're screaming.
Sealand, what is the what's the title of the Menendez brothers thing that everybody's talking about on Netflix? What's
the
Murderoo Electric Boogaloo.
It's called like Monsters, the Lyle and Eric Menendez story, but it was hard for me to find it on IMDb because on IMDb it just says Monster.
Okay, really, that's weird. All right, so Monsters, the Menendez brothers story. They're getting a bunch of heat today for one particular scene in the story. And this is definitely just nitpicking, but that's how people are. Oh, God. I've talked about this many, many times. There are maybe 3 types of feedback that we get on the show. One is people who actually like to listen to the show and want to send over their thank yous. I love when you do that. It's fine for you to do it at any time. Tips at thenewsjunkie.com. We get overwhelmingly massive majority of positive emails, and we thank you for that. We love you. But there's another type of email, and it's perhaps more in number than the first type. The third type would be hate mails, which is I don't even really get them. I think every once in a while, like once a year, one will come in. But the middle type is the correction email. And boy, oh boy, do
Good
those
times.
come through. So if I said right now, let's say I said, look, the Atlanta Marlins are the best baseball team out there. There's no doubt about it.
What
the
an
Atlanta
idiot!
Marlins, they're so good.
Let's play football.
When they play the New Jersey Yankees, they are going to knock it out of the park.
Buddy.
Derek
See, people
Jeter.
just tuning in are going to send you correction emails despite you giving an example.
Derek Jeter is my favorite basketball player. I absolutely love him. And I'd like Shaquille O'Neal if he wasn't so short. That's the main problem I had with him throughout his career. And you start to get a couple of those out there. Or it's something really dumb. Really dumb. Like, I'm trying to think. People will nitpick over something that they had a friend tell them as a factoid, and they say, wow, really? That's so interesting. And then afterwards, anytime they heard somebody say it differently, here's one. Sometimes I have to think about how I'm going to say a word. And I can either say the word the correct way, and people will think I'm saying it the wrong way, or I could say the word people are expecting it to be said, and then I'll get less people who will complain about it.
Like
Guillotine.
your business in the front, party in the back haircut?
Mullet is one, maybe. Guillotine is a word where some people say guillotine. But if you say guillotine, the audience is going to think that you're a dummy and that you don't know how to say the word and that you don't know anything about this. And you'll actually get more emails calling you dumb if you say it the correct way. Anyhow, I digress. This is about
the argument could be, the story could be that the United States is thinking of reintroducing the guillotine as an option for capital punishment for the death penalty, and there could be a really important argument on whether that's a good or bad idea. But the emails will be about how you said it.
Yeah, in fact, I could say I think everyone who's executed it should be via guillotine in front of an audience of thousands, and I think we should put advertisements on their shirts and make as much money off of this for charities as we possibly can, and prostitution is legal. And that's not what they would talk about. They would go, why are you talking like a dummy? You get paid money to talk. You dummy.
Derek Jeter's a baseball player.
So there you go. All right, so that's a long way around to get to this Menendez brothers thing that people are nitpicking about. Here is the scene in question. Anybody see anything catches their attention that might be of note? I'm going to go in a little bit further.
Is there an Apple Watch somewhere?
Nope, there's no Apple Watch. You are in the ballpark, though.
Okay,
there's a Ring doorbell.
There's a Ring doorbell right next.
Idiots.
So it's the Menendez brothers, supposedly in the late 80s or very early 90s, and they're arguing with each other outside this house. And this house has a Ring doorbell, and people are so crazy. There was a water bottle in a scene one time, Downton Abbey, I think, or one of those shows.
Game of Thrones Starbucks cup.
Game of Thrones Starbucks cup. That's it. There was a Game of Thrones Starbucks cup.
But it was determined that Starbucks did exist back in the medieval
during those
times.
times. Yeah, this is something that people will freak out about that really has no impact on the viewing experience for me.
They're the most specific one I think I ever remember reading about was in the movie Pearl Harbor. And there's a scene where they're at a bar, and it's assumed that the character is dead. I think it is the Ben Affleck character.
Mm-hmm.
I think they like thought he had been killed in action, and then he comes back later, something like that.
Hey, I'm Ben.
And they're doing shots of Jack Daniels for him at the bar. They're pouring shots in his memory. And the shot, the bottle of Jack Daniels, somebody goes, well, the bottle wouldn't have all the awards on it that it would, because back in the 1940s, Jack Daniels hadn't won certain awards that are now, denoted on the bottle. And I was like, is a stretch? If you had gone through if you had gone through the process of trying to make a bottle with less awards or a different color or whatever it was, like, that would be a lot of work.
Yeah, the people who do this generally do a great job. They look at the scene and they make sure everything makes sense. They make sure it's in the right time period. They have endless collections of things you could put in place, or they pay people. I've told the story of a very long time ago, a friend of mine who lived in Claremont, Florida. He had a truck, and his truck was a 97 S10 or something. And they were filming a Jonathan Taylor Thomas movie in town. And Jonathan Taylor Thomas was seen all over the place. And he's driving in his S10 and he gets stopped by somebody who works on the movie. And they go, hey, we need that truck. And they say, we'll pay you $100 a day for you to just let us park that truck around various scenes in this movie because it's from the time period when we're filming this.
Huh.
So they do those kinds of things.
What
when
Jonathan
they're
Taylor Thomas movie was it?
Something, I'm going to screw this up, so you might have to
Is
look
it Christmas related?
I don't know. It's something about walking to Egypt or walking to somewhere with Jonathan Taylor Thomas, and his truck was featured in that movie because they needed stuff from that
Walking
time
across
period.
Egypt.
Is that it? Yeah, I never saw it. I don't know if it was good or bad, or just know that it was a thing out there. So
99.
They dropped the ball here. No Ring doorbells when the Menendez brothers were doing their killing.
I
There's
can't
a
believe
story.
they missed that.
Yeah.
That seems like somebody's job.
I wonder if they saw it and they said, no, nobody's going to pick up on this. Nobody's going to be bothered.
It's so easy to remove.
And people will pick up on anything. People will bitch and complain and whine about anything they possibly can. Even this. This is a story of a cat, friends. This is a gray cat living an extraordinary life of visits to the beach and trips to the lake. It went on its biggest adventure alone. It traveled hundreds of miles from Wyoming to California, according to the Associated Press. The feline named Rainbow, you get it? Rainbow, Raynebeau, Rainbow, made it home 2 months after the cat got lost in Yellowstone National Park during a camping trip. Benny and Suzanne Anguiano and their two cats arrived at Yellowstone's Fishing Bridge RV Park on June 4th. It was the cat's first trip to the forest.
Cool.
But soon after they arrived, Rainbow was startled and ran into the nearby trees. This cat's just out there
maybe
loose.
Don't bring cats to the forest.
Yeah, your cat doesn't need to go on vacation with you. The couple looked for him for days, and they even laid out his favorite treats and his toys, but they had to go back to California, and they were crushed. They said, we'll never see the cat again. They said they were entering the Nevada desert, and all of a sudden they saw a double rainbow. They took a picture. They said, that's a sign. That's our sign. Our rainbow, the cat, is going to be A-OK. In August, they received amazing news when a microchip company messaged them that their cat was at the Society of Prevention of Cruelty to Animals in Roseville, California. That cat had traveled 900 miles from Yellowstone and attempted to get back to this house. Now, I throw out a question to you guys, and I want to hear stories if you've got anything to tell us that would help sort this out. Another thing Courtney and I were talking about recently was if we took Lady the dog, our lovely dog, and in the middle of our walk, let's say we're 6 or 7 blocks away, if we took her leash off and let her go and walked away. This
6
is assuming,
miles away, you said?
it was about 2 miles. About 2 miles would be away. No, not that far away. The whole walk is 2 miles. So it would be about 3/4 of a mile to a mile away from the house. If we left her there and somehow she didn't just follow us, which is what she would probably do, she goes running off somewhere, would she know how to make it back to the house? And I argued that even though she goes on this walk every single day, I don't know if she'd be able to make it back to the house. I don't know if she has those skills. Cats seem to be better because cats go out and they go on patrols. They have their rounds that they do. They're more apt to be able to find their way around and stuff. But would your dog, if you let it go like a mile from your house, be able to maneuver its way through the streets, make its way back to your house? I don't know. I don't know if Lady would be able to do that. It seems like it would be pretty difficult.
Carl seems to run towards cars sometimes, so I don't know if he'd make it even for the journey.
Yeah, same. Lady does that too. Or any human being. Literally any human being. Lady is the equivalent of that young viral girl. Have you ever seen the viral video of the girl who's like 2 or 3 and her family member goes, what do you do if some man you don't know, what do you do if he tells you he has a puppy in his van? He wants you to go into his van and see the puppy. She goes, oh, I would go.
Yeah. No, you're not supposed to say that. Let's try that again. What if he says I have a bunch of candy? But then I will go, obviously.
She's like, yeah, I want that. The candy guy sounds good.
Puppies and candy? Come on.
lady as that as a dog. She would 100% go to any sort of strangers who were doing this. Kayla says, who the hell takes your cat camping? It's very rare, I think, to take your cat on a vacation like that and leave them outside. But at least I guess somebody does this. All right, when we come back, Arnaud says this question is so uninteresting. Start the old fight back again. Chat GPT, get back over here.
Chat GPT for sure.
All right, when we come back, we got jury duty coming up with that story finally about the 15-year-old who was arrested and some interesting details around that. We got Janet Jackson. We'll pay that off, so we'll talk about the weird stuff happening in her life and a whole lot more on a busy Monday that's coming up next on the News Junkie.
This weekend, Real Radio 104.1 smells like the 90s.
I'm a loser, baby, so why don't you kill me?
Classic alternative this weekend on Real Radio.
Football. To top it off, the NFC North is really good. The Packers are winning without Jordan Love. The Vikings look like a Super Bowl contender with Sam Darnold. It's time to start having a conversation about the
800-GAMBLER. Age and eligibility restrictions apply. Void where prohibited. See DraftKings.com for details.
Wawa makes the right handcrafted beverages for the right time. And now, handcrafted beverages are just $3 or $4. Jump out of bed for a nice latte. Take a lunch break for a smoothie. Or celebrate with a late-night milkshake. Wawa makes the right beverages for the right time. Now at an even better price. Get smoothies, lattes, or any handcrafted 16-ounce or 24-ounce beverage for just $3 or $4. Gotta have a Wawa.
Honey, I'm going to Wawa for dinner.
Okay, but Ben wants pizza.
Yup.
And Nick wants a burger and fries.
Right.
Oh, and the twins, they won't touch anything except for mac and cheese.
Exactly. Wawa has something for everyone for dinner, so I only have to make one stop to make everyone happy. So, what do you want?
Well, if you're going to Wawa, I have to have a hoagie.
From burgers to hoagies and everything in between, Wawa has dinner for everyone.
Mills Air in business since 1992. That's over 30 years here in Central Florida. They're not going anywhere. Carrier factory authorized dealer. You can always turn to the experts at Carrier. Equipment change-outs and upgrades right now with up to $1,275 in rebates. Visit millsair.com.
Mom, meet Sarah.
From first-time Nana moments.
Yeah, welcome to Flight 101.
To annual girls trip moments. Your can't-miss moments are worth protecting against RSV. If you're 75 or older or 60 plus with a chronic condition like asthma, COPD, heart disease, or severe diabetes, you're at higher risk of landing in the hospital from RSV. And there are no prescription RSV treatments. Check eligibility and schedule your RSV vaccine at vaxassist.com.
So where should we go next?
Sponsored by Pfizer.
Mommy, want to play a game with me and Dad?
Mommy's not feeling good.
You need to vaporize that cold.
Vaporize?
Yeah, with Dayquil VapoCool. It's Dayquil plus a rush of Vicks vapors.
Whoa.
Come on, honey. Let's let Mommy rest.
You guys are amazing. And so is Dayquil VapoCool.
Dayquil VapoCool, the vaporizer.
Hello?
Daytime coughing, aching, fever, power through your day, medicine. And to vaporize sore throat pain, try Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
As storm season heats up, your Better Business Bureau reminds you to make a list now of trusted professionals. If you need help after a hurricane, who will you trust? Protect your home and family by choosing licensed, reputable professionals. Turn to bbb.org to find a better business.
We all think about buying a house instead of renting, right? But did you ever realize you're renting your electricity every single month? Yep, overpaying the power company and watching prices rise every year. This year alone, prices have jumped over 10%. Isn't it time you own your own power with Solar Source? I started with my pool heater going solar, and now I'm thrilled with Solar Source's pay-as-you-go system where I can save each month, starting at only $99. Now, Solar Source isn't new to this game. They've been in business for nearly 40 years with the same phone number since 1984 and over 60,000 installations right here in Central Florida. They are the company I trust. Are you ready to stop renting your electricity? Switch to Solar Source today and start owning your own power. Switch to Solar Source today by going to solarsource.com/monster. Honestly, going Solar Source has been the best thing we've done all year. I absolutely love the company, and you save more money when you tell them you know Russ Rollins. That's solarsource.com/monsters.
Men, if you're suffering from erectile dysfunction or PE, Premier Men's Medical Center will get your sex life back in just one visit. Their painless, breakthrough medical treatments eliminate ED and PE. Here's a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Have Viagra or Cialis let you down? Premier Men's Medical Center offers the most effective treatments that eliminate ED and PE, with men lasting longer than ever. 98% of patients see instant results on their first visit.
Premier Men's Medical Center's breakthrough treatments will restore your sex life regardless of age or medical history. Your consultation and first treatment are free. Plus, you'll see instant results in the office. Plus, qualified patients will have their testosterone checked free. Call 407-337-5569. 407-337-5569. To regain your sex life in just one visit, call now. 407-337-5569.
I'm Mark Anajar.
I'm Glenn Levine.
I'm Ellie Anajar.
Together, we're Anajar and Levine.
If you've been hurt in a car crash, we'll fight to get you the maximum compensation you deserve.
Call Anajar and Levine for your free consultation. 1-800-747-FREE.
In Office Orlando. Boost Mobile built America's newest 5G network and made it easier than ever to switch. And when you do, you can get a free Galaxy A25 5G. Need to hook up the whole family? With Boost Mobile, you can get 4 unlimited lines and 4 free 5G phones for only $100 per month. To switch, head to your local Boost Mobile store today and get your free Galaxy A25 5G or 4 unlimited lines and 5G phones for $100 a month. New customers only. Requires auto pay and ID verification. Other restrictions apply. See participating dealers for details.
Small business owners, we know finishing your to-do list can feel like rowing upstream. But it's a river, a whitewater river, and the only paddles you have are pool noodles. Then when a new to-do pops up, you're like, nope, I'm already rowing upstream with these pool noodle paddles. At Progressive, we don't want to make your day any harder. That's why we make it easy to get personalized discounts with a commercial auto insurance quote online, so your to-do list is smooth sailing. See if you can save on commercial auto insurance in as little as 7 minutes at ProgressiveCommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Coverages and discounts not available in all states and subject to policy terms and underwriting.
If your supply chain demands a flexible workforce, hire with Express Employment Professionals. With contract and full-time workers from Express Employment, you get the staff you need and manage contingent labor costs. Learn more at ExpressPros.com. That's ExpressPros.com.
This earful of real radio is brought to you by JustCallMo.com. Injured on the go? JustCallMo.com.
Real Radio is on X at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Have you been in an accident? Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
The only radio show strong enough to fight off a Category 5 hurricane. This
way, more merch headed to you. We hope you'll love it. That is coming up this week at some point on the show. I went down a rabbit hole and I was investigating this case this weekend that I thought was so interesting. You guys are going to think it's so dumb, but that's okay. I just started reading about it and then I couldn't stop learning more and more and more. It started with a comedy troupe, and I don't know their name offhand. It's a little bit more obscure, but maybe one of you guys, Sabrina or Celine, maybe you know this comedy troupe. Something like White Kids or
White
funny,
Kids in the Hall?
No, it's close to that, but it's like funny white kids, funny white something. Somebody will know, maybe over on chat even. But it's a comedy troupe, and they had a bit that they did.
The Whitest Kids You Know?
That's it. The Whitest Kids You Know. The Whitest Kids You Know.
They were on, God, was it Adult Swim or Comedy Central?
I don't know. They're funny as hell, though. They had a bit that started all this. And the bit was they started to give people incredibly detailed advice on how to attack the president. Oh. So they would go, in this bit, they would go, look, you should absolutely not do this. But if you went underneath this bridge on this interstate, you'd have a perfect eye-line shot with a rocket launcher that you could buy on the dark web.
That is
hilarious.
That is bold.
And it's a very, very funny bit. And they kept going further and further and further with this. The thing is, none of the things they were saying were true. Right. So that's why they checked with all these attorneys before they did it, because when you do a bit that's a threat involving anybody, especially the president of the United States of America, you're going to be under a lot of scrutiny. So they made sure they checked with all these attorneys, and they said that the bit was allowable under the First Amendment because the tips weren't true. The place where they said you have a good shot doesn't exist. They weren't giving out real advice. But some guy who was a fan of this comedy troupe, he ended up using it in a very different way. He said, if you'd like to kill my wife, you'd be best off to park across the street from this house. And if you threw gasoline on this corner of the roof, it would surely overtake the entire house because the kitchen is right here. Right. And the guy was trying to say, hey, it was a bit. I was just screwing around. That wasn't anything illegal that I was doing. It's the First Amendment. And the judge said no. And he goes, well, why were they allowed to do it, but why I wasn't allowed to do it? And the judge said, because you were giving people real advice.
Yeah.
Actual thing. Your wife did live there. There was a corner of your house that would have been susceptible to arson from this perspective.
There was
and on and on and on.
Lady last year who was accused and indicted of murder for killing her husband. Mm-hmm. And she wrote a book about killing
how to kill
her husband.
Yeah, right.
It turned out to all be true.
All right, this is something that you can do if you do it in just the right way. It's like when we do this from time to time when we're skirting around the FCC, and then when you try to do it with your dispatches, but you don't know what the hell you're doing, that's the same kind of thing that was happening here. I forgot this case, but it was, Celine, you might be able to find it if you look up the whitest kids you know.
I'm on their
case
Wikipedia page, which
because they cited that exact skit as the reason why this guy thought he could do this.
They had a really weird Saturday bit on their Twitch channel.
What was that?
Go on.
It was the most popular show on their Twitch channel, which it was the entire troupe watching sketches from their own show, and there was conversation and all this stuff, but they called it Self-Suck Saturday.
You know why this is funny? This is how brutal this comedy troupe was. One of them died for real. And then when the group released their press release, they said he died from autofellatio.
Okay.
You know, a blast of number 3.
Yeah.
This is literally after the man died.
Just saying.
this person
if that
died.
happens to you, one of you guys.
That's
what I'm going with.
They said we made an agreement. We all had a pact on a joke, and they said if one of us dies, we're going to say that this is the way that this person died. And
I wonder if they told their loved ones about that agreement.
Oh, God. I could see that not going over so well with them. They might not think the joke was quite as funny. All right, here we go. Let's do jury duty.
Court is now in session, so put your phone down and pay attention. Before we call the bailiff over to whip your ass, you're now on jury duty with the News Junkie.
Jury duty brought to you by the one, the only Mo DeWitt of the DeWitt Law Firm. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. 866-CALL-MO, 866-CALL-MO, or go to justcallmo.com. After an accident, you're going to see a lot of attorneys on billboards and on commercials and everywhere. So many of them, though, they just treat you like a number, like a field on a spreadsheet. And they say, we got to settle this now. Who cares if it's not as much as we could get if we fought a little bit harder? But the personal touch that you're going to get at the DeWitt Law Firm is going to push your case in the direction that it truly should go. It's the best of your interest to do this. 866-CALL-MO, 866-CALL-MO, or go to justcallmo.com. It's in the best of your interest, I should say. Okay, over to Volusia County. Sheriff Mike Chitwood, who recently perp walked a kid who was how old again? 11 years old. He perp walked this 11-year-old. And it's because the kid was threatening to shoot up a school, and he had this huge arsenal of airsoft guns, many of them that looked like actual weapons. Big problems in that house, I could tell you, without even getting a peek in there. And the kid had to be handled in some way. And he said, I'm going to perp walk the parents. I'm going to perp walk the kids. We're not just going to allow this. Now, there's another kid who's been arrested. This was a 15-year-old who was arrested on Sunday after he said he was going to get some explosives and use them on a school. And they responded to this tip
Very
about
frowned
1:30.
upon.
He said he did it. He made the threats to another player while playing Fortnite online. And he's now facing a felony charge. They want to do all this stuff.
My God.
The difference here that people are suggesting makes this more problematic is Chitwood says the boy has autism. And I can see how that makes it a little more complex. It does make a story more complex. Kids who actually have autism, not just self-diagnosed autism, but actually have autism, are going through life with a different set of tools. And you should treat them differently in some cases. But I think almost every kid, even if he has autism, knows you're not supposed to do this. You know that you're not supposed to say this thing.
I know this is tough to say, but we can't really just assume that because a kid has autism, he's less dangerous than a kid that does not have autism and threaten to shoot up a school. Right. I mean, in fact, depending on what, where on the spectrum this kid is, he could be really super hyper focused on blowing up this school.
And there have been some school shooters who absolutely have been autistic. This does not mean anything other than certainly there's the potential for somebody to carry out a threat like this. And you can't just hide behind a shield of, my son's autistic, and that means that they shouldn't get punished for this. I think you got to punish everybody. I think we got to make this a point to go, this is not a joke. My parents made me so scared of dialing 911.
But you did it anyways.
No reason. Yes, but my cousin did it. I didn't actually dial it.
Look at that. Still
my
blaming
cousin was
his
like,
cousin. Incredible.
Well, I didn't dial it. I didn't pick up the phone. I didn't dial 911. He said, I'm going to dial 911. I said,
all right.
Do you.
Have at it.
We both got yelled